into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Tonight we have a matchup of regional rivals who are very familiar with each other. It is Boise State and Washington State taking each other on in a Rocket League bonanza here. We're going to have a ton of different things. We're going to open up with a best of 5, and then we're going to go to, of course, the Boise State Classic, the 3 games. Any mode goes, and the players will choose those, but it's going to be a ton of fun here on a Rocket League Wednesday. I am Michael Fish Fisher, going to be joined by Artie Nerdy Bird Rain to call all of the action. And you're from the Spokane area, Artie, so what does this matchup mean to the Cougars? I know it's not Washington, but it's still a regional rival.
Okay, I mean, I won't lie. When you're in Spokane, you would assume you'd have like the split between, UW and Wazoo, but in reality, it is like you're just Wazoo fans when you're in Spokane. I even was looking at going to Wazoo. I know that they have a good program, they have good players, so I'm really excited to see what they bring to the table and kind of engage this new level of rivalry that can occur between Boise State and Wazoo.
Yeah, and unlike in some of the traditional sports, there's no set conferences for esports. There's a lot of recruits that you're battling for in this sort of for fun sort of bragging rights match. There's still a lot on the line. One thing to note for Boise State, there will be one new addition to the team tonight. It will be Cosmobuster and Baynock. As always, Ace Pocket able to make it. It'll be a new player, I'm told, who we have not seen. So we'll be really curious to see how quickly they gel with Cosmo and Baynock, because of course we know it's going to be toxic. You can see on the screen there. We know Ace and Baynock and Cosmo played forever. I'll be curious to see how fast Toxic catches in with this team.
I have faith. I mean, when they do scrims, they often will be rotating players in and out, so they have the opportunity to kind of gel together and get to know each other and their play styles. So hopefully they've had enough time together, especially with how wonky last season was and how wonky the start of this year is. I think we got a chance that they'll be doing okay, though.
So their opponents there, SpongeBob, Bay Sayers, and really for Washington State, as I mentioned, it's a best of 5, though I've been told we'll play all 5 games regardless of who really wins, but it'll be best of 5 normal, and then we're going to wrap things up with 3 games. Anything goes. We've seen what can happen for games like Overwatch when Boise State says have some creative freedom, so I'm assuming we'll probably see Snow Day in there, and we'll probably just see a whole host of things. So it's just going to be a ton of fun here on some Rocket League Wednesday between these two schools.
Fingers crossed for some drop shot. I like drop shot.
There's a ton of really fun game modes in Rocket League that I had no idea actually existed. I'm just like, wow, those actually seem really cool. We should play those more, even though there's probably way less skill involved and it's totally random. That'd be a ton of fun. We get to Doc's keys of the game in Rocket League, and of course, they're very, very simple. Kick some A's, take some N's, deliver some L's, and collect some W's. It could not be more easy than that, Nerdy Bird.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I guess, all right, if those are the things we're focusing on, that's what we're focusing on. I'm fine with that. I mean, I guess this is top level, the echelon, like the top echelon of gameplay right here. A, N, L, and W.
I mean, it really does come down to that at the top level. I mean, these players know everything about dodging, olaying the demos, making sure you have good rotations. It really does come down to the A, N, L, and W's. As you mentioned, who do you think is going to be our standout player, though? Who do you think we're going to say at the end of the night, wow, they were the most impressive player on the field?
I mean, we know Baynock and we know Cosmobuster pretty well. Cosmo has some pretty good aerial ball control. Baynock definitely great on saves, as well as coming in and being finishing up goals and getting saves. I'm interested to see what Toxic has to offer.
Yeah, I'll be really curious. I know that Wayton has mentioned this from time to time, where guys like Baynock and Cosmobuster, they just need that solid third player, which I think Ace Pocket does a really good job of. He's not going to be too flashy. He's not going to make any mistakes, though. He's just going to be and fit in with the rest of the team. So I think that's going to be interesting for Toxic, because as you mentioned, we know what Cosmo can do. Him and Baynock could probably 1v3 the enemy team if they got the ball. I mean, we've seen it done before. I have seen Baynock on stream 1v3 people before in Rocket League. Can Toxic fill in that role of just that solid defensive presence, gets the passes out, and then lets Cosmo and Baynock do their thing, because Ace Pocket does a really great job setting them up, and now the pressure's on Toxic to be that guy they need as we hop into the first game here, the best of 5 in what we'll call normal Rocket League between these two schools. Toxic sets it up in the corner. SpongeBob going to clear that one away. Nice pass from Bay Sayers over to SpongeBob, And there's Toxic with that great first save for Boise State. A nice clear away from Washington State.
That was a great rotation coming from Toxic. He actually was up here near Cosmo Buster, but saw his teammate miss the ball, was ready to rotate back, and also was ready to receive the ball up in the front right corner once again. He's still chilling out, though, and being able to maintain more of this center field presence that he has going for him to make sure that he's setting up opportunities for both Baynock and Cosmo Buster to take the ball. But it looks like SpongeBob's kind of going toe-to-toe with Cosmo Buster, not letting him be as flashy as he wants to be, as we do see Base Slayer is also taking the ball over to the right side, but Cosmo's coming in and just slapping the ball over to the edge. And as we're seeing right now, it looks like Baynock's the one to be able to get that touch right there, followed up by a touch from Cosmo Buster, and that's going to be a first goal for Boise State.
That's just a rotation breakdown for Washington State. You can see Base Sayers, he's out of the play. Looks like really challenged on the ball, so SpongeBob had one play to make, and Cosmo Buster's not going to miss those. And I was just about to say, Boise State's offense had felt very, very lackluster, but they immediately turned that around. Nice kickoff win for Real. He's got Base Sayers in the corner. Going to try and play it off the back wall right in front of his teammate, but Toxic and Baynock going to combine to clear that one away. A double commit from Boise State does get them out of position, but SpongeBob's shot on goal is wide and to the right, incredibly slow, and allows Toxic to make a nice save. He'll clear it near midfield. SpongeBob's going to challenge for it, just push it out of the way, but Baynock's going to have possession on the ball. Really still going to steal that one away, and Cosmo Buster forced to retreat down into the corner. Pops it back towards midfield. Demolition onto Base Sayers by Baynock. One man to beat this time, though. SpongeBob makes a great save, allowing his teammate to respawn. Toxic sets it up for Baynock, though. That shot probably not where he wanted it.
Yeah, but Baynock's still here. He had the follow-up there from Toxic. Unfortunately, you know that crossbar is everyone's worst enemy. It bounces back off. It's going over to Whirly, sending it over to SpongeBob, who's now going to try to back send it to Whirly, and Toxic's waiting over by the goal, is ready, bouncing it off, sending it to Cosmo Buster, but that's a double commit from Boise State down in the corner. It's going to require Baynock to pick up a little bit of slack, but Toxic is going to corral this ball down from the upper right-hand corner, and it looks like it's going to be a shot on goal from Baynock, and it is good. So that's 2 for Boise State, and I'm not going to lie, the defense there from BSU was kind of breaking down a little bit. There was a lot of double commits happening, so I feel like Wazoo's going to have the opportunity to take advantage of that, maybe use a little bit more aggression, some demolitions coming out. We'll see some goals from them here pretty soon.
Yeah, Boise State did get lucky. I think it was SpongeBob was right in front of the net, and Base Sayers just ran right into him. So a little bit of a miscommunication there by Washington State. There's a demo onto Toxic, however. That's going to make Boise State's offense a little bit slower. As Baynock's going to pass it back to Toxic right off the respawn. Down into the corner, Baynock challenged by Base Sayers, so he doesn't get a clean shot on it. Really is going to pass over to SpongeBob. Centers it up for Base Sayers. Toxic can't quite find the ball. Baynock going to retreat right in front of the goal, and the shot from Really goes in. Nice offense from Washington State.
That was some clean rotations coming out here from Washington. That goal from Whirly, you see them coming in from center field right here, and they just send it right in. That is being there for the follow-up, but there was a double commit happening also from the side of Wazoo, so they had an open net. Got to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, Baynock was he tried to guess they're going to shoot in front of him. Unfortunately, it was a great adjustment by Washington State to shoot it from where he had just come from. No chance to get back. Meanwhile, Washington State already on the attack. Cosmo Buster forced to make a huge save. SpongeBob, though, going to maintain possession. Baynock now will pop it over to the side. Nice pass over to Cosmo Buster. Just turned away by Base Sayers, and Washington State barely holds on to this 2-1 deficit right now with 2 minutes left. Baynock going to pop it up near midfield. Cosmo's going to get dunked over by SpongeBob, still in the corner. Neither player able to corral it. Baynock gets it away for a brief moment. Toxic now going to try and clear it around SpongeBob. Has Baynock in the open field if he can get it to him, but Base Sayers going to challenge that one. Stop it. We see a demolition on Toxic as well. It's a 2-on-3 for Washington State, but Baynock going to pop it over to Cosmo Buster, who just clears that one away.
Wazoo right now is actually doing a fabulous job on the offense, doing some boost starving for the side of Boise State. You can see that during that entire last onslaught, they had no boosters, and right now Baynock is currently demolished while Cosmo and Toxic are hurting for that boost. And on the side of Wazoo, it looks like majority of the time they have their boost ready to go, but now the tides have flipped a little bit here, and we do see that Boise State is more in favor for a comeback. As we do see the demolition come out on Toxic, that metered aggression is important. It's now a 2v3, but the ball is on the side of Wazoo right now with Whirly, and it looks like Toxic's we have Baynock and Toxic and Cosmo trying to come in and get this ball. And there's another demolition coming out onto Toxic. The aggression is just non-stop from the side of Wazoo right now.
Cougars trying to get back in this. 1 minute, 15 seconds left on the clock. Nice pass over to Baynock. He just misses it. Toxic follows up as well. So Boise State loses a great opportunity to add an insurance goal. Base Sayers wants to tie the game himself, but Baynock, my goodness, off the goalpost with a huge save. Toxic not quite able to get that one, and unfortunately for Toxic, that missed save allows the ball to just slowly bounce in and it's a tied game here with 57 seconds left.
I mean, kickoff goals are very possible. We could see one from both sides before we even get to the 30-second mark, honestly. It's anyone's game still. It is a 0-0 score with basically 1 minute remaining.
Kickoff's very important. Looks like Really's just going to beat out Toxic, but Cosmobuster wins that one. Baynock had bailed on it. Cosmobuster centering it up, but no one there for Boise State. Bit of a miscommunication. Toxic, though, keeps it alive. Now SpongeBob going to try and clear that one out. He's got Base Sayers near midfield. SpongeBob just going to miss on that one. Going to allow Cosmobuster pounce it off the wall. He's got Baynock in midair. Just over pursues that one, unfortunately. Base Sayers makes a save on the follow-up. They try and the pass down to Toxic. It does not work. 30 seconds left here for Boise State. Toxic can't quite find it off the ceiling. Cosmos are going to try and play it to himself. Dunks it over one for Washington State. Recenters it for Baynock. Nice challenge from Reilly. Looks like Base Sayers is going to give Washington State one last chance here with 15 seconds left. Toxic pops it up. It's a chance for Boise State. Great clear from SpongeBob, though. Unfortunately, Reilly is going to miss on that one. 9 seconds left. Do the Broncos have enough defense in them here or a last-second goal? Looks like for now it's Toxic. One last chance. The shot!
Yeah!
And it goes in!
Nice job, Toxic!
Is there any time on the clock? 1.4 seconds for Washington State, so there's still a chance, but that's a great redemption for Toxic.
Honestly, that was beautiful. SpongeBob was actually running out of boost right there, so the odds were in the favor of Boise State. That boost starving is so important.
Ball can't touch the ground. Cosmobuster keeps it alive. SpongeBob, they're going to have to go the length of the field. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get to it. Boise State pulls off the win, but you know what? A little bit of a redemption story there for Toxic, who allowed in the game tying goal and then had the game winning goal with 1.4 seconds left, and we see just how close these two teams are. Well, Boise State Esports is always looking for talented players, production and broadcast talent. Top talent, along with good grades and eligibility, can earn scholarships as well. Sign up today by visiting boisestate.edu/esports for more information. Always a growing program. We've had a ton of fun. I mean, we see players like Toxic hopping in with guys like Cosmobuster and Baynock who have been here forever. And Nerdy Bird, that was a crazy game. I thought we were going to overtime, but instead, Boise State, the last-second goal from Toxic.
I'm going to say Toxic had a calculated move there and was just trying to keep us on our toes. And they were like, oh, let's tie this up and make them sweat a little bit, but we'll finish it out. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said that I'd rather have a close game than a blowout as long as Boise State's winning. So, yeah, I think Toxic was like, look, you know what? This one would be just a little bit too easy. So, you know what? Let's just go ahead and score the game winner with 1.4 seconds left. Well, there's still a ton of excitement left to go. We've still got plenty of games between these two teams. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with game number 2 between Boise State and Washington State here on a Rocket League Wednesday.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We continue on here with this best of 5 between Boise State and Washington State in Rocket League, a regional rivalry matchup with a ton of bragging rights and recruiting rights on the line here tonight. Fish and Nerdy Bird calling all the action. We just had a nail-biter Game 1 win for Boise State, and, you know, I'm ready for Game 2. What are you thinking, especially for Boise State, with how close that came from being a near disaster?
Honestly, I feel like there was a lot of technical skill from like the previous Doc's keys to the game from previous matches, you know, not so much just the, you know, take the W's and take the L's sort of deal, but the meter digression definitely boost starvation. Those were things we saw coming out from Wazoo, and those are things that we have heavily focused on here at Boise State and we have constantly been talking about, and those definitely played out in the situations where they were able to overtake Boise State's defense or offense in some cases and actually get their own goals. So those minor things, well, keys to the game that are no longer as important apparently, well, they still are, but they're just one step below of taking the dub. You know, I feel like Boise State's going to have to kind of reel those sets back in and keep those concepts in their minds and make sure that, yes, they had clean rotations, yes, they had great follow-up. Just keep those comms open and don't let yourself get boost starved.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is just, you know, making sure you make solid contact on the ball, because when you don't, you allow a kickoff goal to SpongeBob right away.
That was, that's a triple threat play right there. Freaking got kickoff, got the pass back from the side of Boise State, and their own assist on the goal. Fabulously done, SpongeBob.
Yeah, played it around Toxic very well. Baynock was out trying to get the corner boost, as we see on most kickoffs, and just wasn't able to get there, and that's going to give Washington State an early lead. Cosbuster wants to take it back, but SpongeBob breaks a great save to make sure his goal is still the only one on the board. Also get a demo onto Toxic as well. Right off the respawn, nearly triples it in, but Cosbuster was ready for that one. Cosbuster dunk it over a member of Washington State as well. Him and Baynock did look like they collided, though. Nice pass over to Toxic. Not in the right position, though. Going to make SpongeBob an easy save there. Base Sayers going to try and push that one away. Cosbuster can't find it. Now Base Sayers going to try and center it over to SpongeBob. Toxic last man to beat, can't make the save. SpongeBob had himself quite the game too so far.
What did SpongeBob do within the last 2.5 minutes? Did they like drink a respawn? Because this is a whole different style of like gameplay from SpongeBob that we were seeing. At first they were more like the defensive assistant type and like we'll take those open goals, but now they're just putting the pedal to the floor. Holy cow.
Yeah, they are popping off right now. Toxic not able to stop early up in the air. Cosbuster going to take it away from him. Baynock, one man to beat. It's Base Sayers on Baynock. Waterfalls the ball down. No chance.
Beautiful.
You can't do better than that.
That was gorgeous. That was like a self-dribble in, the control on the ball, knocking it down, and then just scooping it into the goal. Nicely done.
Yeah, you can't. There's nothing that Base Sayers could have done there. Baynock played that one perfectly, and we've had an offensive explosion in this game. 3 goals already, and we're not even a minute in. Off the kickoff, double commit from Washington State's going to open the goal up for Cosmo Buster. He just barely squeezes that one by, and we already have a tie game.
It was very interesting. You can see that both sides of Wazoo were more focused on Baynock and Toxic over here on the right side and making sure that they weren't getting set up for the assist ready, like Toxic to follow up on Baynock's shot on goal, but they weren't prepared for Cosmo to come sweeping in and shoot that one. And now the first kickoff is going to go in favor of Wazoo. Looks like Riley's going to get the second touch, but Cosmo Buster is going to be waiting over there ready to knock it back, but SpongeBob once again kind of swooping in and setting it more towards the side of Boise State.
Ooh, nobody in the goal for Boise State. Cosmobuster couldn't make the save. SpongeBob's got a hat trick already. And once again, Washington State's in the lead, and it just looks like double commit and a rotational breakdown for Boise State there.
That happens. They weren't prepared for SpongeBob to have, you know, eaten a snack and drank some respawn between the rounds, apparently.
And he has had quite the game so far. Kickoff. SpongeBob can't make a play. It's Baynock's turn to maybe tie this one up. Pass over to Cosmos. Going to spike it up into the ceiling. Baynock, though, can't make the play really with a great job there. Toxic now last man to beat. Pushes it away. Going to drive it down into the corner. Might have a great opportunity for a solo goal, but it gets stolen away. Baynock going to wrap it around underneath one. Riley's going to come out of the goal and make a great save. Cosbuster hanging back so they didn't allow anything crazy. And Boise State going to lose that offensive possession with no goals to show for it.
Yeah, but thankfully Boise State has that crossbar waiting for them. Not so much, but Worley's just going to be like, okay, I can get the assist right there. So that now is another goal for the side of Wazoo, bringing us to a 2-4 scoring, 2-4 right now in favor of Wazoo. This is still anybody's game. There's still 3 minutes on the clock, but I'm still waiting for another spicy kickoff goal.
That was just a great play by Base Sayers, who just drove Baynock out of the way. That goal does not go in without Base Sayers making that play, so a huge shout out to him right off the kickoff. Nothing too crazy, but Boise State with a great opportunity. Toxic gets that one in midair, doesn't have a follow-up. Baynock's going to try and spike it off and recenter it, but he can't find it either. Now Base Sayers going to clear it down. Cosmo will challenge it, wraps around the corner. SpongeBob makes a misplay on it. Opportunity. Toxic's going to launch that one. Looks like it was redirected by a member of Washington State. You saw the orange streak after the ball. Meaning they had touched it last. And a great defensive play by the Cougars here. Base Sayer lays the demo and makes a save himself. And right now, Boise State cannot crack this Washington State defense.
Yeah, but we've got Toxic challenging Base Sayer right now with Baynock also helping them out, popping that ball up, but SpongeBob's just going to end Baynock's drive right there with another demolition, popping the ball between what looks like Toxic trying to stop them and one of their own, but Base Slayer's going to go down to another demolition, setting Boise State up for the opportunity to take this ball back down to the side of Wazoo. It's in the corner now, but SpongeBob is also on Baynock's heels. We see Cosmo Buster trying to center the ball, but it looks like it's going to be saved. Base Slayer's now going to have the opportunity to get a free shot on goal, but it looks like Baynock said not yet.
Great clear by Baynock. Nice and upward. Oh, we didn't even see it. Huge double demolition, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Doc's talked about this a lot. Sometimes getting the demo is not worth taking yourself out of position. They got 2 demolitions, and nobody can stop Cosmo Buster's shot.
There was 2 demolitions, 2 men in the goal, and Cosmo Buster still smacked it in. Beautifully done. Now the score is 3-4. It's still anybody's game with 2 minutes remaining. The kickoff goes in favor of Boise State with Cosmo getting that beautiful tip into the air. Toxic's going to try to corral it down onto the side of Wazoo, but SpongeBob is over here saying, trying to be like, oh no, but Cosmo, of course, is going to be smacking it down to the goal, into the corner, and it looks like Toxic's maybe going to be able to follow that up, but not quite.
Nice. Barely redirected there by Cosmo Buster. Unfortunately, still an open net. Baynock's going to make the save. SpongeBob off the wall. Him on Cosmo Buster. Cosmo Buster makes the epic save. Looked quite easy there. Baynock tries to whip around, but Rurley's going to have possession now. Going to try and carry it off the ceiling. Toxic, though, does a great job challenging for that one. Base Sayers can't find anything as it's redirected by Cosmo Buster. SpongeBob misses on it as well. Rurley, the last line of defense, hits it over to the corner. Cosmo reads that one perfectly. Directs it over to Baynock with a dunk from Base Sayers. Going to hit off the crossbar. Boise State holds on. Toxic knocked off the ball, but clears it down. Cosmo beats Rurley right off the center. Baynock, just missed on that one. And Boise State's got a minute left here to try and tie this game up.
We had the demolition just now that came out onto SpongeBob coming from what it looked like Baynock or Toxic, but now Baynock has the opportunity to get a shot on goal. It's just going to be pushed away by the Wazoo team. It looks like SpongeBob's trying to do some fancy aerial work right here, but the ball's going to get knocked away by Baynock, and hopefully Toxic can get the save over into the corner. However, there is going to be some boost starvation happening for the side of Worley right now and SpongeBob, so they are kind of dead in the water, as is Cosmo Buster, so it's up to Baynock and Toxic to try to get this ball moving in the direction that Boise State needs it to be. And it's just staying down in the corner, and SpongeBob's just toying with Boise State right now.
A demolition on a Cosmo Buster as well. 30 seconds left. Baynock over to Cosmo Buster, down into the Washington State corner. Tries to knock SpongeBob off the ball. Does just enough. Toxic can't quite redirect it. Baynock's going to push Base Sayers up the ball. Cosmo Buster just hits the crossbar. Toxic's going to keep it alive, but Rurley's there to clear it away. SpongeBob gets stolen away. Cosmo Buster, great opportunity. You can't do it better than that. For the second game in a row, Boise State scores less than 5 seconds on the clock.
I would appreciate not giving me heart palpitations today, guys, but I get it.
We still got to go to overtime. This game is far from over, Nerdy Bird.
Oh my goodness. It's all right. I think we have a defibrillator on campus.
I hope so. Especially if they score at the end here. That kickoff probably points towards no, but Washington State with a great last opportunity. Can SpongeBob make a play? He'll hit it in the wrong direction. We're heading to overtime just like that. 4-4 here. Boise State looking up to go up 2-0 in a best of 5 between the two teams. Plenty of action, though, left to come between these as well. We got the for fun games, and this is all said and done. We'll see if Boise State has an opportunity. Worley dribbling in the wrong direction. Nice back pass to SpongeBob. Base Sayers going to bail on that one. Going to try and redirect it over to Worley. Takes a shot on goal. That one's high. Do they have the follow-up? No.
That was a beautiful pass back coming out from Cosmo Buster over to Baynock, and Worley's trying now to basically 1v1 Baynock, but it's going to come down to being the fancy tire work that's happening. Toxic's also going to follow it up into an open goal opportunity, but it looks like Worley's just going to knock it away out of out of their side of the field, sending it over to the side of Boise State. Toxic, and it looks like, yeah, Toxic got the ball. Baynock is also waiting on to be ready in the defensive position. Boise State's definitely more heavily focused on staying defensive during this and not giving up any easy goal opportunities. So we're definitely focused more on finding an open shot on a goal from a time at which there's a triple commit happening to the side of Boise State. We see Cosmo Buster and Baynock trying to slowly get this ball down to the side of Wazoo. And now we've got 2 committing onto Baynock, following up with Cosmo Buster. Toxic's down here too. The ball's getting shot into the air. I don't think we're going to see a shot right now. We've got Baynock and Toxic still over here. Toxic's got no boost, but Cosmo Buster's going to be able to get that shot in.
Yeah, great job by Cosmo Buster. Washington State just could never find a clear. You see Cosmo Buster just barely dodges Worley and able to put that one in. So Boise State's second game in a row, last second winner, this time in overtime, of course, and the big shout out to Cosmo Buster with the game tying goal with 3 seconds left. Well, don't forget that the Black Box VR Winter Invitational Championships are coming up this Friday, and it's all supported by Bang Energy. If you're looking for something to fuel your next workout or hike, you want sustained energy as well as peak mental and physical performance, Bang is the energy drink for you. Bang Energy, potent brain and body fuel. Cannot wait for that Black Box Championship on Friday. It is going to be a ton of fun. But right now we're doing some Rocket League between Boise State and Washington State. Is a 2-0 lead here in the best of 5 for Boise State. But Nerdy Bird, this has been a very, very close game. The Cougars have made Boise State work for Game 1 and Game 2.
Yeah, SpongeBob definitely was a powerhouse for Wazoo during that second match. Holy cow, I don't know what happened if they were like, let's keep you, kind of toned down. You're normally at like a 10. We need you at a 3. And that first game, SpongeBob was like, chilling out at the 3. And then this next game, I think that was either an 8 or a 10. The next one could be the 10. We don't know yet, but they played their minds out. Holy cow, SpongeBob. That was incredible.
Yeah, I think the only thing that is kind of, heartbreaking if you're a Cougars fan is they played their hearts out. They played maybe the best they are able. We don't know. We'll see Game 3. And Boise State still found a way to win, so they've got to even play better than what they just played in Game number 2, which is kind of crazy because, as you mentioned, SpongeBob had a hat trick a minute into the game.
Yeah, that was, holy crud, that was incredible. I mean, the dribbling that occurred on that first goal that SpongeBob also got just kind of demonstrated their ball control within Rocket League. And we've all established that in order to be good at this game, you basically have to have like a minor in physics, and SpongeBob knew their stuff quite well, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, yeah, I'm pretty smart.
Well, last time we took a break, SpongeBob popped off. We're going to do it again. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to see who's going to pop off in game number 3 that's right around the corner here on a Rocket League Wednesday.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Well, welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Here we're continuing on with Boise State and Washington State in this Rocket League showdown. As we said, it is a best of 5 to start, and then of course we'll let everything run wild in the final 3 games where the players will pick what modes they want to go to. Here are your lineup. Toxic, Baynock, and Cosmo Buster taking on SpongeBob, Base Sayers, and Rurley from Washington State. Of course, Baynock and Cosmo Buster have been performing up to their expectations. Toxic, though, has kind of stood out to me, Nerdy Bird, is, you know, he's had some mistakes. I'm not going to lie. He hasn't played perfect, but when Boise State has needed him, he showed up in a big way.
Yeah, being that clutch player does come in handy. Granted, you don't want to be the reason why you have to be clutch playing as well, because Toxic probably will admit to themselves that, yeah, I kind of gave up a goal, so I had to then up my game again and play even better to win back my respect, even if it was just for 30 seconds at a time. Granted, everybody messes up, though. We are human at the end of the day, but they're going to have to all of Boise State in this next match is going to have to make far fewer mistakes and be managing a lot more than they have been in order to come out on top, because Wazoo's definitely demonstrated their ability to keep Boise State on their toes. Both of these first 2 rounds were very close. 1 goal scoring difference is never a fun situation to be in. Granted, it demonstrates that both these teams deserve to be here and be playing against each other, and the skills of the players are obviously well matched. So it's anybody's game, but, you know, you got to clean up a little bit there, Boise State.
Yeah, I'm sure Boise State would love nothing more to have like a 2-3 goal cushion going into those final minutes as opposed to game 1, holding on to a small lead before then blowing it and then Toxic redeeming himself, or in game 2 where they had to claw their way all the way back. So I'll be really curious. It was SpongeBob who popped off last time, a hat trick in a minute. Can anybody make a performance similar to that in game number 3? The Broncos, though, despite their flaws, still lead this series 2-0, getting very close to wrapping this one up with another Bronco victory. We'll have to see. But I think Washington State's got something in them, Nerdy Bird, because last time we took a break, as you mentioned, SpongeBob popped off. If Base Sayers or Rurley can get on that level, they have a really good chance here in game number 3.
Oh, for sure, but they got to be careful, because if they start popping off too early, kind of like SpongeBob did, you'll see exactly what Boise State did, and that was double committing on those kickoff balls that they knew SpongeBob had the greater opportunity to get, and preventing SpongeBob from moving forward at all, opening up the opportunity for Toxic or one of the other Boise State players to come running in and save the ball when it's coming from the other side. They are double committing intentionally in those cases to stall out movement and make it harder for SpongeBob to dribble around them. So you pop off too much, you're going to get noticed.
Yeah, I think the other thing for Washington State, and it is so hard to do with how excellent Baynock and Cosmo Buster execute their passing, but the Cougars can just get in the passing lanes. They can shut down Boise State's offense, because that Cosmo Buster Baynock connection has been a big reason why Boise State holds a 2-0 lead as we kick off game number 3. Nothing too crazy. Toxic able to sort of jam that one up on the wall. Thought he kept the possession alive. Base Sayers going to corral it. Cosmo going to steal that one away. Baynock can't quite outplay 2. SpongeBob shot wide of the net. He wanted the follow-up, but he's not going to find it. Toxic clears it down into the corner. Baynock is there. Cosmo Buster on the center. Doesn't look like he's going to get to the balls. Rurley is there. He's going to clear it away right towards midfield. Cosmo Buster waiting. There's the pass over to Baynock. SpongeBob can't find it. Double tap.
Is there going to be a follow-up?
And it rolls in.
No need for the follow-up, but you could see Cosmo was waiting there. He's like, am I going to need to follow that up? Do I need to boost in? Nah, it's going. Honestly, a little bit of a nail-biter for myself, but these guys have faith in their own ability, and they know the game better than I do. They know a goal when they see it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Base Sayers couldn't make the save. A difficult one it would have been, and Boise State finding themselves in the lead. But after kickoff, Base Sayers wants to try and redeem himself. Nice save by Baynock. Rurley can't find that one off the ceiling. Shot by SpongeBob, going to go wide. Cosmo Buster will make the save. SpongeBob recenters it to a teammate. Baynock pops it over both of them, but gets knocked off the ball, so he's going to lose that momentum. And SpongeBob's going to be able to clear that one towards midfield. A nice knockoff by Base Sayers on the Cosmo Buster. Baynock waiting in the corner. There's the pass over to Cosmo. Do they find it? No, it doesn't look like they like the angle. They'll back off. Cosmo tries to recenter it. Boise State can't quite find anything on the second offensive possession.
We've got Toxic over here with no one on him, but the Demolition's got to come out, and Rurley is now in possession of this ball with a shot onto the goal coming out from Base Layer. Right now, corralling the ball down in the corner. SpongeBob with full boost swooping in, but now is looking low on those resources, expecting his team to follow up, and they do, with Rurley getting a shot on goal.
Great little set here from Washington State. You see SpongeBob off the wall to Rurley. Baynock can't quite find it. Toxic is
just
barely misses. Base Sayers was there for the backup if they needed it. It's a tie game just like that. A little bit slower than last time, but still, nonetheless, Boise State has to make sure they watch out for Washington State's offense as Rurley's going to get another shot off the crossbar. can't find anything. It's a one-on-one for Baynock. Plays it around Bay Sayers perfectly. Tries to play it around Worley. He'll do just that. Worley might have got just a nose on that ball. SpongeBob challenged Toxic enough to make that shot go right.
We've got Bayslayer over here by himself, no pressure on them, but there's going to be a double commit from his own teammate, sending the ball closer to his goal. They're able to get it to midfield. Toxic's now putting on the pressure. Baynock's going to steal the ball away from SpongeBob, but Worley's going to knock it down, and SpongeBob's just going to come right back in, sending it over to the corner, forcing Cosmo Buster to pick up the slack a little bit, using some of those fancy aerial skills, but SpongeBob's following that up, saying, this ball is staying on your side. Cosmo's trying to get it down. We do see the demolition come out. It is now 2v3 over here for the side of Boise State. They have an opportunity to clear the ball out. Baynock's trying to bring it into the side of Wazoo, but Bayslayer is going to send it right back to the goal. Cosmo Buster now has possession, but is looking low on boost.
Nice clear by Cosmo. Is going to get that full boost in the corner. Baynock tries to clear it down. Great job by Worley. Toxic keeps it alive. Hits it over into the other corner where SpongeBob was waiting. He's going to clear it down. He'll pay for that one. As he goes boom, Worley's going to miss on it. So will Cosmo Buster to Baynock. Forced to clear that one away off the wall. Bay Sayers just barely redirects it here. First half gone by, entering the second half of this game number 3. The Broncos looking for the 3-0 sweep. Toxic can't quite find it. Baynock off the wall. Cosmo Buster just there, but the redirect just wide, and now the Broncos got to retreat quickly. Toxic doing a nice job challenging Nick. Buys Baynock enough time. Worley can't find the shot on goal as Cosmo goes boom.
SpongeBob now has full boost, taking the ball over to the corner on the side of Boise State, but Cosmo Buster's able to swoop in and save it just barely before it enters into that goal line. But we've got Baynock waiting for the send-off from Cosmo, who's trying to battle it out with a double commit coming from Wazoo. Toxic's chilling out in the goal, getting ready to send it back to mid. Beautiful save there. We do see Toxic, however, is going to get a demolition out onto SpongeBob. Beautifully done, but now the ball is still on the side of Wazoo with 3 people in the goal, and Cosmo's still able to score another one. Wow.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I had no expectation that ball was going in.
I didn't. You've got 3 people there. That, like...
Oh, wow. I mean, Worley was probably that close.
It probably was a repeat of how Toxic just felt.
Yeah, I mean, that was just incredible by Cosmo Buster off the kickoff. He'll win it fair and square. Can he give Boise State the insurance goal they need with 1:25 left? No. Toxic now in the corner, loses possession. Worley's going to recenter it. Baynock can't make the save, but hey, Cosmo Buster comes flying on screen the last second and makes a huge save to keep this game a 2-1 lead for Boise State. Right now, you know, they probably don't want it to be the Cosmo Buster bailout show.
No, but I mean, sometimes you've just got to be that clutch player, but Toxic's definitely had some great saves right here. We do see Baynock and Toxic passing the ball around on their own side, but Baynock's trying to keep it in the air, getting it past Bayslayer. Unfortunately, it looks like SpongeBob's going to be able to grab it off the ground, and Worley's trying to do some fancy aerial work to get it in the goal, and that is now going to bring us to a 3-3 score game right here. Oh my goodness, I did not appreciate. Oh boy, I'm not appreciating this.
Yeah, Boise State. Oh, Cosmo Buster just hit it the wrong way, unfortunately. Did not get the touch he wanted, and that's going to open things up for Washington State. It's the 2-2 game. Right off the kickoff, it's going to be pretty even. SpongeBob will win that one cleanly. Cosmo Buster hanging back. They're going to make the save. Bay Sayer wants to try and recenter it, but SpongeBob's shot goes wide. Baynock just barely clears his way, but the threat's not over. Now there's an opportunity for Boise State. Open goal. Can't Baynock go quick enough? No. Bay Sayer gets back there in time. Boise State, 30 seconds left to try and win this game in the final seconds like they've done in game number 1.
Boise State's now heavily relying on their passing skills. They are making some great passes, but it looks like they're just being a little too transparent with what their plans are as Wazoo is able to stop them. We have seen some back and forth between Baynock and Toxic. Cosmo Buster's actually rotating further back than we normally see them, playing more on the defensive side to make sure that they are not leaving an open goal. So they're splitting their focus a little bit, but that's how it has to be when you are in a tied score game and you just want to finish it out without having overtime. It's anybody's opportunity. This ball could not touch the ground though, and now we are in a golden goal situation. We could see this end right off kickoff.
We haven't seen too many crazy things since SpongeBob's first kickoff. Toxic with an opportunity! Oh, he lost it on the ball!
But it could go in on its own!
Bay Sayers recover it. Toxic thought he had the game winner, not able to find it. Cosmo's going to pass it over to Baynock. Great read by Worley there, otherwise that would have been a game winner for Cosmo Buster. Baynock recenters it. Toxic shot goes wide. Baynock can't quite find it. Now the Broncos got to be careful. That ball could go all the way across, and it will. Bay Sayers with the goal-to-goal game winner here in game number 3.
Yeah, where's that defibrillator? This is too much.
Left in the series. Bay Sayers' first goal of the series could not have come at a bigger time.
Hey, it counts to be the clutch player when it counts, and if you need it right then, that's the time to pop off, and they did. they delivered.
Yeah, that would be the time to, make sure you force a game number 4. You see some of the players in the arena, some at home, everyone making sure they're still being safe. Production also doing a really good job as Skeleton as they are, bringing us the match here. And right now, this is a very, very close match, but I got to feel that Boise State stock probably just a little bit higher. They probably should have won that game. Toxic had a great opportunity. Washington State, I'm not going to say it was a fluke, but you rarely see a goal-to-goal game winner.
Yeah, we won't say I'm going to agree. We won't call it a fluke. We'll say it was calculated, as they always love to say here in the Rocket League, kind of fandom and universe. I hate to call them a fandom, but they're a fandom. So, I mean, if that was a kind of chance opportunity to really score that clutch goal, that means this next game is really going to be the deciding factor of is Wazoo deserving of, that last round victory or not, because if Boise State just sweeps all the goals in this next one and Wazoo is gassed, that means they weren't ready for a full 5-game series, and I hope that they were, because you always got to expect you're going to take it to a game 5.
Well, even if the players are a little bit gassed, we're going to give them a short break, but we'll be back with game number 4. The Broncos lead the series 2-1, but can the Cougars rally after a game-winning overtime goal in game number 3? We'll find out after this short break.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back in to this regional matchup here between Boise State and Washington State. The Cougars making the Broncos work for it here on a Rocket League Wednesday as they have a game winner in game number 3 to send us to a game number 4. The Broncos still in the driver's seat, though, leading the series 2-1. Fish and Nerdy Bird here calling all of the action. And as you said before we went to break, Nerdy Bird, I think this game probably going to prove if Washington State victory in game 3 was a fluke or if they actually maybe deserved it, because as much as you want to say it was a great goal, I don't think Sayers, when he made that save, intended that ball to go all the way into the other net.
Probably not, but, you got to take it when you have the opportunity to flex and say that you totally planned it out. So I'm going to let them have that opportunity to do it. And plus, I am from Spokane, so I am kind of torn right now because as much as I love Boise State and I love Rocket League, I still want to see my hometown teams pop off. Like, come on, Cougs, show them what you got. Y'all are freaking amazing players, and I know you can be. Like, make our hometown proud.
Well, they're doing a pretty good job. They've definitely held Boise State tough. Every single game has been a one-goal game. The Broncos winning games 1 and 2. The Cougars picking up game number 3. We've seen a pair of overtime games as well. So very even match series here between these two teams. We can kind of hop into game number 4, see if the Broncos can close the deal, or if we head to the penultimate game number 5. Don't forget, after this series, we've got, of course, Boise State's maybe even their more infamous pick something random and let's just go at it games, because those are always a ton of fun. So 3 games of that where the player's going to probably, I would assume Snow Day. Snow Day is always like the boring first choice, and then we get crazier and crazier throughout. But we have yet to get there as we pop into game number 4. Worley with a clean win off the kickoff. Cosmobuster in the perfect position. Plays it down into the corner. Bay Sayers makes an awful play on it, but Cosmobuster hits the post. And Boise State almost gives it back to Baynock from an impossible angle, by the way. He's going to hit that one home.
That was I know the angle was impossible, but the resources on the side of Wazoo here, we don't see the gauges anymore, but they had almost no boost. There was no opportunity for them to just, hit that boost button, swoop in, and save that ball. That's why, boost starving is so important in this game.
I think at the very end of the replay, you could see the ball streak turn from blue to orange, which means I think it was unfortunately an own goal for Washington State. Because I was going to say, that angle did not look right. Nevertheless, Boise State's going to take it. And Baynock will, of course, as you said, take credit for it and say, that was all planned. I don't know what you're talking about. Fish of Boise State up 1-0 here, but right now the Cougars on the attack. Cosmos are going to clear it away. He's got Baynock waiting down in the corner. Worthy, the last man to beat. Nice pass over to Toxic. Can Baynock make a play off the waterfall? No, going to hit it off the crossbar. Toxic wants to keep it alive. He's got Cosbuster in the corner. SpongeBob's going to win that one. Now Boise State might have overcommitted.
Oh, no. Oh.
Baynock makes a huge save. Won't get credit from the game, but I'll give it to him. Boise State maintains in control.
Right now, it looks like Wazoo's more in the position to create an onslaught attack. If you were looking, they do. However, going down one man is going to make it a little bit more difficult. The respawn is already back, so they have a double commit over here on the ball as Cosmobuster is able to take out Base Layer, but it looks like Worley is going to then send it down to a goal and dribble it past Baynock in order for them to score. It is now 1-1, just under 4 minutes left in the game. These slowdown replays are beautiful.
Great, yeah, that was impressive. But I like how we were able to see it set up from the opposite corner. Worley makes a play around Boise State, just like that. We're tied once again, and what has been a very, very tight series between these two teams. No team winning by more than 1 goal. And Toxic's going to be able to slow down Washington State for now. Going to try and pop it up off the ceiling. Cosmos there. You can see Baynock setting up in position. Ball's going to go right off the top post. Baynock over pursues. Lands right next to the crossbar. Toxic's going to have it near midfield. He'll get demoed for that. Ball's going to be saved there by Bay Sayre. And now Washington State's got a chance here with the double demo coming out.
Yeah, that double demo, though, is not going to help them out too much because both of those players will now spawn closer to their goal, so they're trying to get an open goal opportunity. They're kind of undoing themselves when you're creating those demolitions at midfield. It's resetting your opposing team to the spots where they actually need to be, and we do see that Baynock is able to swoop the ball down to the corner, but there's no follow-up as Cosmobuster was really far into the defensive side, sending the ball back down to Baynock. We've got full boost for Baynock, kind of just playing with the ball, but Toxic is able to send it away over near towards Cosmo, and Toxic's also going to take out Base Layer, leaving Baynock with the opportunity to score, and that is 2 for Boise State. Still anybody's game, though, Fish.
Yeah, just a great play by Baynock. Really, the last place you want to be is a 1v1 with Baynock right in front of the goal, and Baynock makes it pay. Second goal of the game, Boise State back in control. See if they can hold on to it. Last time, that 2-1 score did not hold the remaining time, and Washington State came back for the victory. Baynock wants to add the insurance goal. Actually pops that one around from Cosmobusters, so Boise State going to hand that one right over to Washington State. Baynock, though, great opportunity here. Cosmobusters going to take it from him
that
and just push it in.
Dribble from Cosmo. Oh, my goodness.
He just stole it from Baynock. He's like, hey, thanks for setting that one up for me. I'll take it here.
The flip reset from Baynock to try and get more control, and then Cosmo just comes in and is just like, nah, fam, let me show you how to do some fancy tire work.
First time Boise State's had a 2-goal lead all series, which is pretty impressive, despite the fact they lead the series 2-0. And Toxic's going to put that one in. I think it's going to be an own goal, but we'll give it to Toxic there for the great shot.
Yeah, the ball did go, I think right here, it's a pass back off of Worley to Toxic that allowed that ball to go in. That own goal is always unfortunate, but it's something you just get used to in Rocket League.
Yeah, he was making the last-ditch save. It was going in if he didn't make a save, so you can't really blame him for that one, but it's very unfortunate for Washington State. Oh! Toxic probably deserved credit. Cosmobuster's going to bump that one into the last second and steal the goal away. Does not matter. It's a 5-1 lead for Boise State. I don't know if that would actually gone in. Very close.
I don't know how that fully went in with only giving credit to one player from the Rocket League side. But this kickoff is going to go in favor of Boise State. We do have Toxic over here, almost full boost, maintaining control. It's going to go down to Baynock and Cosmo Buster now doing some great passing over in the goal, but it looks like SpongeBob's just able to boop it away. Toxic was waiting at the midfield for it, though, and is already ready to send it back over. However, Whirly is now going to be popping the ball up into the air and trying to corral it, but Baynock's going to be able to pick it up and bring it to mid.
Baynock plays it around 1, plays it around 2.
What?
You made fun of me for saying the man could 1v3. He basically did
That
it.
was beautiful, Baynock! Oh my goodness!
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. When Baynock's in a groove, there's really nothing the other team can do. He can do stuff like that. And I mean, Whirly's just lucky he was out of the play, so he didn't get posterized as well.
Yeah, that is true. I just got to ask Baynock, what did you eat and what are you listening to right now? Because you are just in the zone, my friend. We do see Whirly, and it looks like SpongeBob and Whirly are going to stay alive, but Base Layer was demoed, and that opens up another goal scoring opportunity, and that went to Toxic. Look at, oh, that was clean over from the side of Wazoo. Cosmo was also ready for the follow-up. Great rotations out from Boise State right there on that play. Let's see if they can do it again.
This time, Baynock, he's got a chance. Oh no, SpongeBob's going to read that one perfectly. He doesn't want to be on any highlight reels at all. Nice Toxic, though. He's going to corral that one. Just goes wide. No one there for Boise State and Washington State. Not sure comes back possible, but to get a couple goals, I'm sure would be a nice feel-good moment for here. As Boise State has started to open the floodgates in game number 4. It's a 7-1 lead, minute and a half left. Base Air going to pass it over to Whirly. It's intercepted perfectly by Cosmo Buster. SpongeBob, nice pass over to Base Air. Tries to get it to him, but Toxic's going to intercept that one. Baynock's going to pop it up in the air. He's got Toxic trying to pursue. Looks like SpongeBob's going to go over first. Toxic's going to try and kick that one in. Doesn't look like it's going to go as Base Sayers there backing goal perfectly. Cosbuster going to hand it over to Baynock in the corner. He's got Toxic near midfield. If he can get the pass off, he can. But a nice read by Whirly's going to make sure nobody goes in. Demo on Cosbuster. He will respawn though in time. Baynock's going to make that sure no second goal goes in for Washington State.
Yeah, but now we've got Baser and Whirly with their sights set onto the ball, and that leaves Toxic and Bailey also coming in right now, trying to get this ball into their favor. Whirly and Cosmo Buster are kind of battling it out. Whirly's just out dribbling everybody and playing out of their mind. However, that crossbar is everybody's enemy, is going to send it back to mid. Toxic is still the one on the ball from Boise State. He does have Baynock waiting to help them out. Cosmo Buster's playing more defensively. The rotations have happened. Toxic is now waiting by the goal, and Cosmo's having the opportunity to send this ball back to mid, but SpongeBob coming in with that first goal for the second goal, or is that the first goal for the side of Wazoo? I think that's second.
Second goal.
All right, they're showing signs of life. They have the opportunity to get some good goals in here and close that gap. I mean, getting 7 goals would be fabulous right here, but just make that gap smaller. You've got 30 seconds to do it. It's possible.
It's definitely possible. Come back, I guess, not out of the realms of possibility, but would be something that would be just absolutely unheard of. I think the Boise State stream record is 3 goals in 34 seconds. Washington State would almost need to double that with 5 here in 20 seconds. But a nice goal, maybe a 7-3 loss, feels a lot better than a 7-2 loss. Cosmobuster and Baynock want to take it the other way. Nice pass. Can he get the double tap off the wall? No, that was a little bit wide, and Cosmobuster's going to redirect it. 8 seconds left. See what SpongeBob can do. All he can do is get a demolition on the Toxic, who steals that ball away. Baynock going to hit it off the wall. 1 second left. Final shot of the game, and it's going to go in.
Beautiful shot,
SpongeBob will make it 7-3 as time fully expires.
We shouldn't see a kickoff, though, because time is completely out. Or are we going to get a kickoff?
I don't think we're going to see one. I think it should just call it.
Yeah.
Yep, it's going to call it.
All right, so we're still going to be moving into a Game 5, right?
Potentially. I know I heard rumors of that. Just a reminder, the Idaho Army National Guard invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out on Twitch at iGuard Gaming, and we'll leave you with the top plays. I'm coming up very soon from this series, but don't go anywhere because there is still a ton left in this matchup. As I said, we've got our best of 3 fun series, but let's take a look so far at the top plays and the amazing plays we saw in Boise State's 3-1 victory.
But it looks like SpongeBob's kind of going toe-to-toe with Cosmo Buster, not letting him be as flashy as he wants to be, as we do see Base Slayer is also taking the ball over to the right side, but Cosmo's coming in and just slapping the ball over to the edge, and as we're seeing right now, it looks like Baynock's the one to be able to get that touch right there, followed up by a touch from Cosmo Buster, and that's going to be a first goal for Boise State.
That's just the... That was pretty impressive.
That was clean. I can't say anything beyond that was clean.
Yeah, I mean, Boise State's had there's been a lot of impressive goals, really, in this series. So neither of these teams really back it down. That was the first real blowout we saw, with Boise State sort of walking away with game number 4 and picking up the official W. But we've still got a ton left here. As we talked about, I think we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with game number 5, just because, why not? And then we'll go into our For Fun series. Boise State, the official winners, but we're not done here. Take a quick break. We'll be back with game number 5 between Boise State and Washington State.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
Right side, but Cosmos coming in and just slapping the ball over the edge. And we're seeing right now, looks like Baynock's the one to be able to get that touch right there.
Growing up in
Followed by a
Idaho,
touch from
we have certain
Cosmo
rules we
Buster,
live
and that's
by.
going to be a first goal.
Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. It's Boise State and Washington State here, going at it in Rocket League between these regional rivals. We've already officially settled our best of 5 with Boise State taking the victory 3-1, but that isn't going to stop us from a game number 5, Nerdy Bird. And then we will transition into the fun portion of the night, where we will have 3 games of the player's choice of game modes. Usually you see stuff like Snow Day. I know you, Nerdy Bird, made a claim for Drop Shot to be in there. Hoops is always a ton of fun as well. There's actually just a lot of really interesting game modes in Rocket League that you don't get to see a lot of. But right now, we're going to keep it vanilla. We're going to have Game 5. Everything will be standard. We'll see if Washington State can maybe rally the troops a little bit, because this was a really close series until game number 4. Boise State just basically ran him out of the building at this point. It was a 7-3 victory. The third goal for Washington State coming with 0 seconds on the clock. So I'll be curious if the series gets back to our first 3 games, where it was a very, very close series.
They might have been a little gassed, and that one game was the slip-up, and Game 5 they come back just as fierce as they were during Game 3. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Game 3, the lone Cougar victory so far. If we take a look at some of our incredible highlights, it really just, the Cosmobuster Baynock connection was a little slow to get going, but once it popped off, it really popped off in just an absolutely insane way.
Yeah, and we cannot discredit Toxic. They did a fantastic job creating opportunities for both Baynock and Cosmo to get some of these goals. Their rotations were actually fantastic, being sure that they were in the spots that they needed to be. We did see multiple times where Toxic actually had goal-scoring opportunities, but kind of lost it a little bit and prepared for the rotation back, got into goal, and allowed for Cosmo and for Baynock to pop off while Toxic was ready to be in assistance just in case Wazoo maintained control of the ball.
Yeah, this is probably, we just saw maybe one of the biggest goals of this series. Cosmobuster scoring with 3 seconds on the clock to win game number 2, as it looked like the Cougars might win on thanks to a hat trick from SpongeBob. And then, of course, Cosmobuster gets his 4th goal of that game with the game winner in overtime. It's been a very, very close series. We're headed into game number 5. I'll be curious to see what comes out, since, the official competition, if you will, has ended with a Boise State victory. So I would be expecting maybe some just crazy goal attempts from both sides.
Yeah, I want to start seeing those really risky kickoff goals. they're possible. We just haven't seen them. We've seen mainly like stall outs, double commits onto the kickoff play, sending it to one of the corners. Pretty standard, pretty safe. I want to see someone do some fancy stuff, popping the ball in the air, and then like kind of soloing it into the goal. Personally, that's what I'd love to see, and I know kind of basically all of these players are capable of doing it. It's just a matter of who's going to do it.
Yeah, I'd be also curious to see, like we talked about a little bit, which Cougar team we will see. The one from games 1 through 3 that played Boise State incredibly close, needed a couple of huge game-winning goals from the Boise State to be able to win that, or if it'll be a Game 4 repeat, unfortunately, and Boise State might just blow the wheels off. We'll be very curious to see. We're going to get Game 5 going, and then, of course, as we mentioned, we'll have our 3 for Fun games right after that on a Rocket League Wednesday, jam-packed full of action between Boise State and Washington State. Here, getting ready to kick off game number 5. Looks like we are ready. Looks like we've got a change in scenery.
Ooh, I
for
like
sure.
this map.
Don't think anything else is different. Quite the flashy map, though, for sure. See if we can help Washington State out at all. Right now, it's doing pretty good as they have the ball in the corner. Cosmobuster's going to push away towards his own net. Baynok's going to make a nice save there. Worley's going to try and pinch it off the wall, set something for his teammates. Double commit going to come out. Nobody finds the ball. SpongeBob gets a last-ditch touch on it, but it's not going to go in the net. Boise State survives that early aggression from Washington State for now.
The early aggression as well as the early boost starving for the longest time while that onslaught was occurring from Wazoo, both Cosmobuster and Toxic did not have anything in their fuel resource. But it doesn't matter when Worley just maintains full control on the ball, and Base Layer is also assisting in that goal because they just kind of spun around Boise State's defense there for a little bit and scored when they saw the opportunity. Maybe Boise State's a little gassed after that last round too.
Yeah, Boise State right now not had much possession of the ball at all in that first minute, resulting in that first goal right off the kickoff. Toxic's the eventual winner, one-on-one. Worley, though, is going to make the nice save. Baynok's going to keep it alive, pop it up towards midfield, but Base Sayers going to clear that one away. He's got Worley down in the corner. They've got SpongeBob waiting near midfield, but does not matter as the demolition comes out onto Base Sayers from Baynok, and now Boise State's going to try and flip this one. Worley with possession, clears it towards the goal. SpongeBob can't quite find it. Baynok right at midfield, has the ball down into the corner. Can he find the center over to Toxic? Does not look like it. Toxic gets a touch.
Cosmo?
Ooh, that shot just fired.
I mean, we just saw double and triple commits coming from both sides right there. It was going to be a hard-fought goal if there was going to be. I'm not going to be so angry about that not happening, but Toxic's now had the opportunities, chilling out by the goal of Wazoo, looking for that pass back from Baynok. Is Baynok going to be able to send it over to Toxic or Cosmo? We've got Cosmo also coming in to clear the ball out of midfield. Toxic following it up. Baynok onto an open goal, and there is the first goal for Boise State.
Yeah, great little pass from Toxic, reads that one perfectly. Cosmo probably wanted Baynok on the pass, but he had Toxic on the follow-up. And Baynok's not going to miss an open goal like that. Boise State, early deficit, no problem for them.
I mean, 1-1 might as well be 0-0 with 3 minutes on the clock. A little more than 3 minutes on the clock. This first kickoff going in favor of Wazoo, but Cosmobuster's going to try and get a touch, but Worley is just going to fly right over Cosmo and send it in. Beautiful kind of kickoff goal. I'm going to count it. Not quite as flashy as I wanted it to be, though.
No, just a solid play by Worley. SpongeBob doing a nice job setting him up on the kickoff, and there wasn't much Cosmobuster could do. See how this kickoff goes for Boise State. Cosmobuster racing in, beats Base Sayers just a tad. Baynok in pursuit, going to fall back. Toxic not able to find it, but he got a great pass for Baynok here. Oh, what a pass from Baynok to Toxic. Boise State immediately ties the game up.
Beautiful. So we just saw the score from Baynok, followed up by a score from Toxic. If the trend follows, I think the next goal is going to have to be scored by Cosmobuster.
I mean, Cosmobuster has scored plenty of goals today in this series. It would not be shocking for him to get one here, but right now it's nice to see Boise State, all 3 members clicking on every cylinder. You just like to see them not have to score the game-tying goal every time, maybe score a goal that actually puts them in the lead. But right now, SpongeBob, great opportunity. Cosmobuster going to push that one away. Now he's got it in the corner. Worley's going to steal it. Toxic's turn now in the corner to try and drive it around a couple people. Does get around one. SpongeBob, though, going to make him work for it. He can't quite clear it away. Baynok's turn now. Everybody for Boise State getting a chance to get this ball out of their half. Baynok finally the one who's successful. Can he center it up? Yes, he can. Cosmobuster a little bit too late on that shot.
Yeah, it definitely looked like we had Worley ready for the follow-up and on that defensive push right there. They weren't going to let that goal happen. We do see Toxic right now kind of dead in the water and Cosmobuster with no boost. However, they've got the opportunity to come back and steal this ball away from Worley. Worley has no boost personally, so they're going to be struggling to keep this ball in their possession. As we see, it looks like Baynok was able to knock it down away from them, and Toxic is now getting ready to follow up on that, but Base Sayers is going to get that goal for Wazoo.
Yeah, great little goal from base there. You see the double commit from Cosmo and Toxic, and then Baynock the only one in the net. He was driving the opposite direction, so there's not much he could do. Third time in this game number 5, Washington State has taken the lead. We'll see if this time they can actually hold on to it as Boise State has answered quickly. That kickoff pretty even. Cosmobuster's going to hit that one away from a member of Washington State. Base Sayers in the corner, though. Make sure nothing too crazy happens. Does get the ball stolen away by Toxic. Cosmos turn here. Can't quite find it. Baynock wants to keep it alive, but that ball's just going to be fluttered right in front of the net. Base Sayers able to clear that one away. Worley's going to play it around Toxic. Cosmobuster in the corner, though. Just clears it away. Hits it off the wall. Base Sayers can't do anything. Baynock tries to get a nice shot. Toxic can't quite find it on the wall, but Baynock plays it to himself. The ball just a little bit wider than it.
Cosmobuster's going to try and knock this ball down, but there's no one waiting over in the corner. Toxic had already rotated back and just misses the tip-off on that ball. However, Baynock is going to then send it over to an open goal, and that is another goal for Boise State and a second goal for Baynock in this round.
A really good job there. You see Baynock just open net opportunity. Base Sayers just a little bit behind that one. And once again, Boise State find ways to tie it up. We'll see which team gets the advantage this time with a minute and a half left.
And the kickoff goal looks like it's going to go in favor of Boise State. Cosmobuster able to send it over towards Baynock, and maybe Toxic's going to be ready to come down and get it on the right-hand side. They are, but Baysayer's going to get that extra boost, and that ultimately is going to play into their hands. We do see the demolition come out onto Cosmobuster, leaving Baynock and Toxic both alone to get this ball over onto the side of Wazoo. We have Baynock playing it off the wall again, sending it to the corner. Cosmobuster is there. Are they going to be able to corral it down onto the ground and score it just a little wide of the goal onto the right-hand side, and there's no follow-up from Boise State, leaving the ball open for Worley, who's now taking it into mid, and SpongeBob's now going to get that ball and possibly score a goal. Oh, it was Baysayers going to score that goal. That was a beautiful follow-up there from Wazoo.
I thought for a moment Base Sayers had just hit it off the crossbar, as you see right there, but he got insane follow-up. Toxic and Cosmobuster couldn't quite get there in time, and Washington State once again in the lead. We'll see if fourth time is the charm for them. If they can finally hold on to it, and with a minute and 10 seconds left on the clock, Boise State's able to find their fourth game-tying goal of game number 5. Baynock sets it up perfectly. Cosmobuster charging in. Toxic waiting in the wings. Going to pop it up over to Baynock, who's going to try and flip that one around. Pops it up over one member of Washington State. Plays it in the corner. Base Sayers can't read it perfectly. Bounce back to Toxic. Unfortunately, he gets challenged by SpongeBob. Cosmobuster now in the corner. He can't find anything as Worley's going to challenge in. Base Sayers going to get this nice clear away. Boise State's going to have to regroup.
Boise State's getting a little bit boosted while they're on that onslaught right there. They were not paying attention to their resources, and that ultimately played into the hands of Wazoo and gave them the opportunity to send the ball back to Boise State's side. But Toxic was ready and just gathered up a necessary boost, getting out that demolition early. Cosmobuster now has the ball in the corner, but is going to get sent to the middle, and it looks like SpongeBob's going to try and take this ball into the midfield onto the side of Boise State. They do have Worley with them as well, but a double commit from both Toxic and Baynock is going to send it to mid, opening the ball up to Cosmobuster. The crossbar is not going to be his best friend. Can Toxic or Baynock follow it up? They cannot. They're just going to try and stop the ball from going in for their own side. Yeah, they've got 3 seconds to score to tie this game up, and I do think this might be Wazoo's match.
Got to keep the ball off the ground. Good job there by Baynock to do it once. Worley can't do it, but Baynock's dribble just rolls down the hood of his car and eventually touches the ground. So Washington State will win the consolation game number 5. A very, very close series between these two teams. The Broncos, the victors, but we still have more yet to come. We have our 3 more fun games where the players are going to take turns picking whatever game mode they want to play, and that's how we will wrap things up between these two teams. We'll also throw it out to Twitch as well, see if the fans want to vote for their favorite game mode as well. We've already heard from you, Nerd. You want to see some drop shot? I would personally love to see some basketball. I think that is probably one of the most fun game modes in Rocket League.
But your theory is we're starting on Snow Day?
I think that's a theory. That seems to be like the go-to, like, it's kind of like wacky, but it's not really that wacky. That's kind of how the teams do it. That's how I feel. It's like, hey, guys, it's Snow Day. It's just Rocket League with a hockey puck. It's not really that original, but...
It sounds a little boring.
It really is. It really is.
Let's start on the most boring custom mode we can.
Let's start on the most basic one. But we'll have to see. I mean, there's a ton of really awesome game modes. We've highlighted them in a couple of our other Rocket League tournaments where we've gone just off the rails. So I can't wait to see. You're hoping for drop shot. I want basketball. I think it's going to be Snow Day, though. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with game number 6 and see what crazy game mode these players want to pick between Boise State and Washington State here in Rocket League.
legendary parts for legendary wins.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We've wrapped up the sweaty portion of tonight's broadcast, and now we're going to go on to the light and happy part, which is just the wacky and wild Rocket League rules here. Between these two teams, Boise State and Washington State, a very, very tough-fought series in the best of 5 in the normal games. Boise State 3-2 victors, but they did win the series technically in game number 4. And I'll be really curious to see what they want to pick, because it might throw these players off guard. Because, I mean, you know, everything standard kind of goes out the window unless you're playing Snow Day in Rocket League, because even Snow Day, to a sense, because of how much faster the puck moves and the limiting aerial ability you have, the normal skills of these players might go out the window, which, you know, for Washington State might be a good thing, because they each felt just a step behind Boise State for most of that original series.
So if the puck likes to move really fast, odds are that this is just going to be like Boost City, and the puck's just going to be going back and forth constantly. And I'm kind of excited to see that cattywampus gameplay happening, because I feel like it's really going to be a detriment to Boise State's passing ability and can definitely open up some like solo pop-off opportunities for the side of Wazoo.
Well, I don't think it's going to be Snow Day. It looks like it's going to be Rumble that was decided on by. I'm not sure who. I would guess Boise State usually defers to the visiting team, if you will. So Washington State picking Rumble. So both of us, Nerdy, will have to wait till Game 7 to get the game we want to see. But we're going to go into Rumble here to kick things off.
All right, so explain to me how Rumble works. What's the goal of this minigame here?
I believe Rumble is just standard Rocket League with power-ups.
Ooh, all right.
And a little bit of a different map here as well that we've got brought out. But I believe the standard portion is just there's the crazy power-ups that can affect the game that you'll see in due time.
All right, I'm seeing standard boost. Obviously, there's a thing in the center that you have to now work around. What?
Yep, there's the power-up. Yeah, the map choice has nothing to do with Rumble. It's just one of those fun little maps that definitely does not fit standard. But yeah, you could see you've got the Baynock. I believe if he hits anyone, he's got permanent demo. Does not matter as Worley's going to score the first one without really any of the power-ups being shown at all.
It looks like there was a power-up that literally froze the ball. Yeah,
yep.
Right there. What?
Yeah, there is a ton of crazy. You could freeze the ball. You could turn into like, you know, a Ramus looking, you know, a porcupine, if you will, or you can get the ball attached to you with some spikes. There's a plunger. There's like a punch that you can kind of launch the ball in a direction. There's a tornado. There's all sorts of crazy things. You can teleport someone else. But right now, we're just scoring standard Rocket League goals at this point.
Okay, don't score the standard goals. I want to see something done that's flashy. That's the whole point of Rumble. Make it flashy.
I mean, you could argue, honestly, that you didn't even need to power up this game with the map they picked, because this map also throws just a whole wrench in standard Rocket League as well, with those two giant pillars right in the way.
Yeah, and they kind of create a whole level of like passing and outplaying around the other team.
I thought that was just going in. I'm like, no, come on.
Yeah, a little too much playing with your food if it just goes right in off of that. Oh, I saw something attached to the ball just then.
That was a tornado. There's the so we've got the boot, which kicks an opponent's car. The disruptor, which forces your opponent to drive with constant boost. Freezer, which you saw freezes the ball in place. Grappling hook pulls you towards the ball. Haymaker punches the ball. Magnetizer brings the ball to you. Plunger, kind of self-explanatory, grabs onto the ball. Power hitter allows you to hit everything hard, and demolition, regardless of your boost, and then the spikes attach the ball to your car. And the tornado that we saw didn't even fit it on the screen.
Honestly, I like the one that forces someone to play with constant boost because you just gotta go fast.
Yeah, I feel like that could kind of be a detriment as well, especially on this map where you could just zoom it right in the goal. See a demolition, nothing from SpongeBob. The Haymaker's gonna miss. Nice little plunger from top. What?
What? How? What?
I think we have a clipping issue.
Oh, okay. He used the plunger to pull it in. All right. I see.
That was an interesting bounce off the crossbar.
That was weird.
That looked like it just kind of clipped through. Boise State's going to take it, though. They have the 3-1 lead.
Is SpongeBob still there? SpongeBob?
He made the save not playing the game, which is honestly impressive. He's back now, but I don't know if he disconnected or what, but the fact he made the save is kind of hilarious, actually.
I mean, it just, if anything, it's just like, I'm so good, the game puts me where I need to be before I need to be there.
I automatically knew where I needed to be. Other than the swapper, we didn't mention that one, which you look like a teleport, and it can kind of force you to switch places with your opponent. There was the porcupine. There comes out from SpongeBob as well. Get yourself attached to the ball. Stays on until someone makes contact. Oh! Battle of the ropes, and they're both from Boise State. I think Boise State just caused themselves a goal.
Whoopsies. And we do see SpongeBob still with the spikes out. It looks like the power-up did wear off, though?
Yeah, they do have time, so unfortunately the power-up timed out on him. Otherwise, the spikes would be so overpowered, you just attach yourself to the ball and you just drive into the net. So I do like the time duration. A nice goal here from Toxic with... I don't know what power-up he used here. Did he punch it in? No, it looks like that was maybe the plunger. He kind of drug himself to the ball and then hit it in.
These power-ups are a little confusing to me.
There's a lot of them.
It's all things they wanted to put in the game but couldn't.
Things that would ruin the professional esports nature of Rocket League, but still are a ton of fun. As Base Sayer says, I don't need any power-up. I'm just going to score it the old-fashioned.
I mean, if it comes down to it, this map in itself is a little cattywampus. If you can score the old-fashioned way, do it.
Exactly. This map is almost like a game mode in and of itself.
I do agree. Kind of, if it were to like lock the goals until it'd been bounced off the sides a certain amount of times, that would be a whole new game mode that could exist.
There are a lot of potential in Rocket League. It is kind of crazy for how simplistic it seems to make this game just absolutely wild. Boise State right now pretty much in control, but a nice plunger there from somebody from Washington State, able to save that ball. There's the magnetizer from Baynock, but it gets stolen away. Another teleport comes out as well, but Washington State's still not able to relieve a lot of this pressure till that ball gets just launched across the field.
And SpongeBob actually has the opportunity to score right now, but they don't have any power-ups, or they have the teleport. Was that teleportation?
Somebody teleported.
Okay.
I don't know who it was, but somebody definitely teleported SpongeBob into a place he no longer wanted to be. Baynock tries to drag it in. Haymaker from Whirly's going to stop that one. There's a couple magnetizers. There's another Haymaker. Boise State's lead, not very safe in this game mode. Now we're out in this sort of far corner. Nice Haymaker from Baynock. Off the wall to Cosmo. Magnetizer from Toxic. Just,
ooh, is it going to go in? Yes. I honestly thought the tornado was going to grab that away from Toxic, but it didn't.
I don't know if the tornado kind of messed up Cosmo Buster. I'd have to think so. And then you see Toxic kind of just swung that one around Base Sayers, which is pretty impressive.
Physics, man. I don't get it.
I think physics has gone out the window at this point. He's kind of hit the ball really hard and hope it goes in the right direction.
Okay, then that makes me feel a little bit better.
At least that's how I like to play Rumble. Like, you know, you can have a great opportunity and just get stolen by a power-up. Just hit it hard. Hopefully it goes in. Nice freeze there. Whirly's going to get the demolition as he had the power hitter. And he's going to use that to get his teammate a goal.
Nice goal there, SpongeBob. I think that's SpongeBob's second goal for the side of Wazoo during this round, right?
I believe so. Yeah, that does sound correct. Should get an opportunity to see here when we get over. But yeah, I do think SpongeBob has a pair of goals for Washington State. Still a minute 14 on the clock. Anyone's game here. There's a 5-3 lead for Boise State. A couple of misses on that one. You see Toxic actually has 4 goals for Boise State, which is pretty impressive. I mean, yeah, I know there's kind of the fluke of who gets the good powers, but Toxic definitely showing that if Rumble was an esport, he'd be a grand champ for sure.
I wonder if Rumble has a competitive scene inside Rocket League so we can see these players' ranks in it, because I know Dropshot does. So I'm a little curious now as we do see this freeze and the Haymaker come out from SpongeBob, sending the ball more to the side of Wazoo's goal. Cosmo Buster, though, doesn't have any power-ups. We see the Demolition coming out right now onto base air. And SpongeBob, once again, with the ball, kind of just dribbling it in. Getting a power-up. I think that's the Mega Boost one. And a teleportation. But the Haymaker from Baynock's going to go in. And that is Baynock's second goal in this round.
Yeah, I don't know who put the Disruptor on SpongeBob. Maybe so he couldn't make a play. Unfortunately, that was actually Whirly who haymakered the ball into his own net.
Oh, that happens. At least there's no own goal audio file that plays like it does in Lucio Ball, okay? Because that would just make everybody feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in Rumble there should be, though. I mean, like, normal one I can understand, but in Rumble it should be like, own goal.
just rub it in.
Exactly.
Put salt in the wound.
See a ton of magnetizers come out. Nobody's able to find much success. Cosmo and Toxic gonna run into each other. Cosmo can't make the save. Baynock can. Does somebody have a good power up here from Washington State? The answer is no.
We do see Whirly with the magnetizer, though. However, Cosmo's just going to drive the ball in despite that power-up being on Whirly. Just wasn't enough to maintain control of that ball, and that's now going to put Boise State at a 7-3 lead right now with less than 6 seconds on the clock.
A nice little haymaker there by Toxic. Punched Whirly out of the way so he could not make a save on it. Spike's going to allow Cosmo just to drive it in. Time 16 seconds left. So there's still some time for a goal from Washington State. Don't know if they can find 4 goals here, but probably thinking about what game mode they want to go to next. And I don't know if it was maybe one team picked the map and one team picked the game mode.
What was that, Cosmo?
Spikes it out of midair, and you know, when the ball's attached to you, it makes aerial plays just that much easier.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And the spin move, that was beautiful.
Yeah, it does make that just a tad easier when you're able to do that.
Just a little bit. We are out of time on the clock, though, so is this ball just going to get popped into the air, and then it's anybody's ball as long as it doesn't touch the ground? We are at 1 second remaining, and what?
Baynock's keeping it alive.
Oh, wow.
Oh, somebody freezes it, and
that's it.
Couldn't quite keep it alive. Toxic picks up MVP honors, and Boise State wins the first of the 4 fun game modes here between these two sides, but there's still plenty left to come. Have to think that Washington State's going to go with something crazy here, and I really am curious if maybe one team picked the map, because I have not seen that map before. Usually, it's standard maps with 4 fun rules. That was a fun map and fun rules.
Yeah, I personally like that map. I feel like it would have been a better 2v2 map, though, because it opens up so much, solo pass-back ability. But, I'm not going to complain, because that was just a goofy game to watch overall. But next one, can we please do Drop Shot? Please? I really would like to see Drop Shot.
Well, Nerdy begs for Drop Shot. We're taking a look at some of Cosmo Buster's highlights throughout the night tonight, not only in the standard modes as we see. I'm sure we might see a couple from Rumble as well, because Cosmo Buster put on a clinic for Boise State, as he typically does, scoring quite a few goals.
His own clinic during a broadcast. That's so true. I feel like we could clip these and just have one of the players explain what's happening, and it could be literally sold as an Overwatch, a Rocket League course, personally. I just feel like there's that much gameplay happening, and I really want to know what's going through the minds of these players, since we never really hear comms from the Rocket League team, ever.
I would assume it's a ton of I got it.
Calculated.
Yep, easy, right out the wall. But yeah, no, I mean, Cosmo Buster had himself, especially this game number 2, which you're taking a look at here, quite the game number 2, as he scored a majority of Boise State's goals, and I'm assuming we're going to see the one that probably is the goal of the night, which is the game-tying goal with 3 seconds left on the clock, which was beyond impressive, because that series maybe goes another way if it's tied at 1 aside as opposed to a Boise State 2-0 series lead.
Yeah, that is true, and it looks like we're going to get to see Toxic's goal possibly, or is this the one that had a follow-up from Cosmo Buster?
I think this is Cosmo's game winner in that game too. Yeah, there he is, charging in. 4 goals in that game number 2 for Boise State. They needed every single one of them in a 5-4 overtime victory over Washington State, and I mean, it goes without saying that when Cosmo Buster and Baynock are playing, they're going to get their opportunities. And I thought Toxic, as you mentioned, did a really good job of being that, solid third person they needed. He had his moments. He had a couple of great passes, but Cosmo Buster, he put on a show today.
It's a matter of knowing your role and being able to commit to it. If you have 2 great players on your team that have great chemistry, great passing, great they know where each other are going to be since they played so long, being that facilitator of them to be able to continue to do that is a very important role to be able to fill into. So credit where credit's due, Toxic. You gelled into this duo's play style very well this evening, and I'm excited to see what else you can bring to the table.
There's actually a very one. This is going to be stressing to read if you are, or to hear if you're a Boise State fan. Cosmo is in his second to last semester. I don't know if you can even imagine a Boise State Rocket League team without Cosmo, because Boise State has never fielded a Rocket League team without Cosmo Buster. Yes. Now, yes, there's the orange team that he is not on, but there has never been a Boise State Rocket League team or a semester where Cosmo has not existed, which is just absolutely insane. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're back with game number 7, and Nerdy, I've got good news when we're back from this break on what the game mode's going to be. That doesn't give it away. Stay tuned. You'll hear what's coming up next on Boise State versus Washington State.
Yes.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Don't forget, Boise State Esports is always recruiting top talent in Overwatch, League of Legends, Rocket League, and production. Top talent along with good grades and earn you scholarships as well. Check out boisestate.edu/esports for more information. We are on to game number 7 tonight between Boise State and Washington State. Here we have transitioned into the more light portion of tonight's broadcast. We just saw Rumble. Now we are going to get the game that I know Nerdy Bird was excited to watch. We are going to get Drop Shot, Nerdy, so you have got your wish. It is just I who remains wishless right now.
I'm sorry, but when you are very loud about what you would like to see, sometimes people will actually do it.
That is true. I am really curious who is picking. I would assume it's been Washington State. I know some games, in the competitive scene, it's loser's choice, but I would be curious who is picking behind the scenes between these two teams. We're going to head to Drop Shot now, and Nerdy, why don't you tell us why you wanted to see this game?
Okay, so Drop Shot is definitely more in favor of people that have a lot of aerial skill, and both SpongeBob and Cosmo Buster have definitely demonstrated their ability to, snag that ball out of the air and put it in the direction they want to see it happen. And so if you can get proper shots at that ball having high momentum from being passed back and forth enough times, you can do a lot of damage to the floor, and it's just really satisfying to watch it drop away.
Yeah, it is. It's also a two-part game as well, because first you've got to hit the floor. Well, first, actually, really three-part game. First, you've got to hit the floor to change it to your color. Then you got to hit it again to knock the floor away. Then you can finally hit the ball in the back of the net. And depending on how skilled these players are, you can get it to where each side is basically wide open, and anywhere you hit, it's going to be a goal. So there is a lot of, long-term effort, I will say. It's not like Rocket League where it's like pass, that goes in the back of the net. It's like, okay, first we got to dent it, then we got to break it, then we got to score the goal. So these games, very low scoring, but you do see some crazy skills, as you mentioned.
Yes, and it's very exciting. Also, like, once that whole flooring is gone, if you can get it to that point on both sides, it comes down to, like, your ball control and being able to maintain the ball from not touching the ground. It is, after all, still real soccer rules, and the ball has to completely cross over, not just the center of the ball through that bottom part, but it's a lot easier to let that ball drop through because physics obviously aren't in your favor and gravity's working against you in that case. So it makes it a lot harder. You have to calculate where it's going to land and be right underneath it and ready to save it.
Yeah, the one thing that it is a little different as well is since the floor is falling out, and the cars won't fall through, luckily. That would just be a nightmare like it used to be. You can't make those drive through the goals, turn around, and then save it because the ball's, not all the way in. You cannot actually get underneath the goal. So once the ball goes in, it's just going to go in for good, and there's nothing else you can do about it. So I'm definitely curious to see how this game's going to go. Washington State, unfortunately, the last game didn't really go their way. I was going to say the last few, but they did actually end up winning Game 5 between Boise State and Washington State. So I'll be curious to see, as you mentioned, SpongeBob, probably the guy to watch out for, and really Baynock, Cosmo, Toxic, anyone for Boise State has shown some truly incredible aerial skill. Or maybe it's going to be Bay Sarah Worley who comes through with something crazy. But that's the whole point of this, just showing off some for fun skills. So it's drop shot. It's Game 7 between these two schools. We'll see who's going to be victorious very, very soon. And I'm really interested to see who makes just an insane play that it sneaks into our top 5 plays of the night.
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like this is a very hype game mode to be watching, and so I'm happy we get to cast it, honestly.
Yeah, it really is. It's just there's so many fun games in Rocket League where it's almost like, can we just do a best of 3 of the normal and then a best of 5 of all the silliness? But right? I understand, competitive and get these players ready for the actual tournaments. I get it, but still, I really enjoy how crazy Rocket League could be. And I'm just ready to hop into game number 7. Here we go between Boise State and Washington State. In this drop shot, you will see very quickly how things are going to work. Floor starts to dent here a little bit, and now we'll see if Washington State can crack that one open.
So one of the things to keep in mind here is that ball will change color based off of who hit it last. If the ball is on your side and it's your color, hitting the ground will not do anything. But if it is the enemy team's color and how much momentum that ball carries will determine how much damage it does to the floor. So you got to be careful in making sure that you aren't allowing the enemy to get a lot of passing and a lot of momentum on the ball. Otherwise, it's just going to break your floor faster. As it looks like Wazoo is kind of in the lead here. They've already taken out a good chunk of Boise State's flooring. There is a decent hole on the side of Wazoo, but the lineup for the amount of breakaway coming up for Wazoo is much higher, as we do see Baynock score into a single hexagon tile on the ground. That was a beautiful pass back.
Yeah, I really want to see how this works. We see Cosmobuster hits it, just barely break. I didn't even know if Baynock knew that floor was going to open. I think he's like, all right, I can break it. Maybe he could double tap it in. But that is actually incredible. The other thing that we did not mention is that when you score, your floor will be set. The opposing team's floor will not be reset. So it does sort of prevent it leads to a much closer game. And at some point, Washington State will probably have that whole floor open unless they score here. They almost do. Ball's still blue, so it shouldn't break open any floor. We do see that the production telling me that Baynock was top 100 this season in drop shot. So he knows his stuff just a little bit.
Man, Wazoo, I did not request this knowing that. Just being honest, I did not know Baynock was top 100, and I am very sorry. Shut them down. Make their life horrible right now. It's your time to shine.
He's got an opening there in the far corner. Get knocked off the ball, look like. Redirected a couple times. Cosmobuster's going to open up the floor as well. Going to try and drive it in. Baynock going to tap it down. Just misses the open net, unfortunately. Or open floor, I should say. Boise State's only going to have this 1-0 lead. Baynock, though, trying to redeem himself. No.
And that ball is orange, almost touching the floor on the side of Boise State's side, but they're managing to knock it back up. It is still orange. Now we're on the orange side with Base there trying to stop that ball from dropping. It looks like it's going to come down, but it's right in the middle, so no flooring's going to get damaged. Baynock has an opportunity to get the ball in their possession, but it looks like Toxic's going to be the one to battle it out with SpongeBob. Cosmobuster's waiting, grabs the ball, preventing it from touching the ground. That would have been a lot of damage that we just avoided there for the side of Boise State. There's open floor over here on the side of Wazoo, but I do not know if we're going to be able to see a goal get scored or if it's going to be Wazoo bringing it back to Boise State's side. There's plenty of flooring space open. We see the demolition come out on the base layer. They're already spawned back with full boost, and there's a lot of flooring that just got hit. There's goal scoring opportunity, but the demolition's going to come out onto Worley.
Boise State has opened almost as much floor as Washington State. That was so close. I mean, anything on that right side of the map for Washington State should be a goal. Boise State trying to open up some floor here. They've got a couple of openings as well. They want to try and score one right over here. Cosmos are going to try and bounce it off the wall, and he does. Boise State's second goal, but you have to think with how much open floor is not going to reset for Washington State. They should get a goal here pretty quickly.
I do think that this next round, whether it be a long drawn-out one like it was just now or not, is more in favor of Wazoo because of how much damage has been taken for the side of Boise State. There is a lot of goal-scoring opportunity. The ball is already more in favor of Boise State, though, as it opens up, doing a large amount of damage on that floor, and they're maintaining possession of this ball. It is remaining blue. Now it's back to orange with SpongeBob trying to just get it over to the side of Boise State and do some damage to that flooring, but knocking it just into the corner pocket is not going to touch any of those hexagons. So Boise State's got to keep their floor advantage. We're going right now, and they are just trying to maintain possession of the ball and not let it drop into one of these holes on their side.
Yeah, Boise State has done just really an incredible job of limiting the amount of damage Washington State has done. I mean, you see everything Washington State has done is still in the game because they have not scored. Meanwhile, Boise State's opening up another giant hole in that upper corner. Base Sarah's great opportunity. Oh, I thought Cosmos had just got a touch on it, but he did not. Ball's still orange, they got to be careful. So Toxic will clear that one away. Base Sarah going to redirect it. Toxic tries to slam it down, opens up even more holes on that floor. Baynock thought he had an opportunity, can't quite score. Now this would be a great opportunity for Washington State, but they just cannot get good touches on that side, and even more damage coming out from Baynock.
Yeah, Toxic, that was a beautiful smack on that ball right there.
He just lines it up perfectly. I mean, even think Baynock had the follow-up, had Toxic not got it. Boise State with a nice 3-0 lead. Their almost whole floor is cracked open or at least damaged at this point. This could be a great opportunity for Washington State.
But that ball is, there goes. There's some falling away from Boise State's floor. They have, I want to say, less than 50% of the tiles actually in remaining on the field right now. So we do see some damage being done to the side of Wazoo, going into, almost getting that goal, but it looks like Baynock was able to just shy in there and get the ball away from the ground. Cosmo Buster showing off some of that aerial play we love seeing from them, hitting that ball down, but again, it's hitting that corner area, not hitting one of the hexagon tiles, so it's not doing any damage. The ball is blue, so it won't fall through the floor on the side of Boise State's side. It's orange right now, so Wazoo's in the safe zone, but that blue ball's got to do a lot of damage right there. Once again, we do see SpongeBob and Whirly trying to just hammer it onto the side of Boise State, but Boise State is just keeping this onslaught going and keeping the ball on the side of Wazoo. There's so many open tiles on the side of Boise State. It's incredible that there's not been a goal scored. They are not letting that ball stay on their side. They know how risky it is, so they're playing it more to the side of Wazoo as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, 3 seconds left. Have to think Boise State's going to walk away with this one. We'll see who gets the last goal. The answer is no one. That was actually a ton of damage done right at the very end, but since it wasn't on an opening, it was not enough. So Boise State victorious in drop shot. We will head to our final game of the night, game number 8 between these two squads. Boise State comfortably in the lead, winning 5 games to Washington State's 2. We'll now see if the Cougars can get one back here in our final game of the night. Boise State Esports is always looking for talented players, production, and broadcasters. Top talent, along with good grades and eligibility, can earn you scholarships as well. Sign up today by visiting boisestate.edu/esports for more information. Final game of the night. You already got your wish, Nerdy, so I guess I'll give you a second chance. What game would you like to see in our finale between these two teams, or game mode, I should say?
Honestly, do you want to see Snow Day?
No, not really.
What would you like
I
to
want to
see?
see basketball. I think I don't know what the actual name. I think it's hoops is the official name, but it's basically basketball.
All right, show me some hoops.
Yeah, I would love to see some hoops. I think that's one of like the most fun. And there's nothing more satisfying than just actually getting a slam dunk down into the hoop. But we'll have to see. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back to see if I am right or if I will end the night sad. 8th and final game between Boise State and Washington State on a Rocket League Wednesday coming up after this short break.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
legendary parts for legendary wins.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We've got our final game of the night here between Boise State and Washington State. Game number 8. See if the Cougars can end on a victory or if Boise State's dominating performance will carry them in our final game. Have yet to hear what the map choice is going to be. I want some hoops, but there are quite a few interesting games. Snow Day would probably be my least favorite. It always just seems to be like the very, very first game we play when we have these sort of series with teams where it's like, hey, we've already won the one series. Let's go with some fun games. So I'm really interested to see what game mode is picked between these two schools for their final game of the night.
I am going to go with you on this one. I'm really hoping we're going to see hoops. Honestly, Snow Day just sounds like we're going to be watching a hockey puck go back and forth and just kind of get, I don't know, foosballed between 6 players consistently because of the lack of aerial movement that can happen. The ability to track that is a lot easier. So, hoops. I'm hoping for some hoops.
Well, it actually sounds like we're going to get a complete audible. Game number 8 going to be a 1v1, not between one member of each side, but between Cosmo and Baynock to see who is deserving of player of the game.
Oh, man.
That is some pressure.
That's evil also. Like, this just reminds me of the time that we made Tachi do a 1v1 with one of the players on one of the other school teams, and it was both amusing and stressful for Tachi. So, Baynock, Cosmo Buster, we love you both. We're not trying to put you against each other, but show us what we are.
We really are. We really are. I mean,
show us what you got.
There's no way to determine who's the best unless you put your money where your mouth is. So, big shout out to Washington State for joining us, but game number 8 is an all-Bronco affair. 1v1 between Cosmo Buster and Baynock. I'm assuming it's going to be standard rules to see who the player of the game is for tonight. Who are you putting your money on, though, Nerdy? You've got to pick.
I have to pick?
And you have to pick. It is the responsibility of a caster to pick somebody to win a game. Cosmo or Baynock in the 1v1?
I'm actually going to say Baynock.
All right, well, then I got to go with Cosmo Buster. Not going to admit if that's who I was going to take or not, but it's never fun when both casters are rooting for the same person. So it's Cosmo and Fish versus Baynock and Nerdy Bird, but Fish and Nerdy Bird aren't playing. We're just rooting from the sidelines. We'll call ourselves the coaches almost.
I just get to hype. That's
exactly.
all my job is.
We're the hype men. Well, I'm really curious. I don't think I'm sure they've maybe done this in practice. I don't know if I've ever seen this stuff. I know you mentioned we've seen someone. The last one we saw was actually Doc versus Koba.
Oh, boy.
And Koba absolutely embarrassed Doc.
Yeah.
Every single direction. And Doc was bragging about how good he was at Rocket League. So I've heard that Doc is secretly working on getting back at him, but that is for another day. It is Cosmo and Baynock in the 1v1. And this is going to be insane because 1v1 is already – it is a standard mode in Rocket League, but there's just so many differences because you don't have a teammate back there if you make a mistake on the offensive end. So I'll be curious if they play hyper-aggressive or not.
I want to see, like, hyper-aggression, constant boost usage, because it's like you're the only two on the field. There's plenty of boost pads to run through, all of that. We're probably going to see plenty of demolitions coming out as well if they're running on full boost, like absolute speed going throughout the entire thing. And I'm really hoping to see some fancy kickoff goals.
I mean, yeah, kickoffs are going to be one of the hardest things because it is just, if you make a mistake, it's a wide-open net behind you. So, yeah, I'm really curious how these players approach it. I mean, these are probably two of the most talented players we've seen at Boise State. I mean, they put up just an absolute boatload of goals in tonight's regular best-of-5 series. So, player of the game on the line, Cosmo Buster and Baynock here. Final game of the night on a Rocket League Wednesday. Boise State v. Boise State, and I am really curious how this one is going to go, and I cannot wait to hop into it.
Baynock, I put my money on you. All of my respawn boxes are on you, man. Show me I am not wrong. Please, get in Cosmo's head more than he can get in your head.
Yeah, I would love to see if they just spam anything silly in the chat. Great save, great save, great save every time a ball goes in. Because usually, when you're playing another school, you want to be respectful. You don't want to cause any bulletin board material for the next time you play. But when it's in-house, I mean,
You can get the sass all over the
Exactly.
place.
There are no rules in this besides just find a way to win. I don't care if, Cosmo goes, has someone, call somebody up, it's like, hey, go over to Baynock's house, just pull out the cord of his internet real quick. I mean, anything goes. Yeah, anything goes in this 1v1. There are no foul plays. So here we go. It is, also a bit of just an absolute insane map as well. And Baynock's going to put it home. I don't even see Cosmo Buster on the screen. And Baynock, of course, he's bringing out the Fortnite bus.
I love it. It's beautiful, though it looks a little bit like a clunker. We've all driven one in our lifetime, so I feel comforted seeing the bus.
Cosmo Buster going with the more standard approach. Oh, I've seen this map before. The sort of circle map. It's definitely a ton of fun. Definitely changes things up a little bit because it does make the kickoffs a little bit more balanced, I'll say, because it's not just an easy goal. So I do like the map choice as well, as Cosmo Buster is going to try and keep it on the side. He cannot. Baynock put it in again. No, spiked that one into the ground.
Oh my goodness, is that Mega Boost you actually have to be in the air to get? That's dirty, Rocket League coders. You know that's a dirty move.
Ooh, Baynock's got to be careful. The ball right in front of his net.
Looking at it. Wait, did Cosmo Buster change their name to Schnitzel?
I don't know another Schnitzel, so I would have to assume so.
Cosmo, why Schnitzel? All right, that's the second goal for Baynock right there. And I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but there was a Cartoon Network cartoon called Chowder for a very long time, and a character named Schnitzel in that show. So I would be so hard-pressed if Cosmo's not in the mics just saying rada rada right now.
I mean, he might have to change his name back mid-game because
Schnitzel ain't working.
Schnitzel is not playing like you would expect a Cosmo Buster to play. Let me just put it that way, as Baynock's going to win that one clean.
Schnitzel's going to try and get it down, but the ball's just rolling right into the goal. And Baynock, maybe it's the bus that's doing it, but you're getting a lot of goal-scoring opportunities right now. What's going on, Schnitzel?
Yeah, misplaced that one off the wall. I don't know, maybe Baynock did get in his head because this is kind of a disaster right now.
Yeah, Cosmo, what are you doing, man?
The artist formerly known as Cosmo Buster not having a good time right now in the 1v1. Player of the game looking like it's all Baynock, but there's still plenty of time left here in this one.
The goal-scoring opportunity right there for Schnitzel, and Schnitzel gets it. It is now 3-1, but we've got a little over 3 minutes on the clock. That is plenty of time to score a goal, but it seems like maybe to me it takes a little longer to score goals in this form of a match than it does in standard.
I don't know. We've seen 4 goals in less than a minute and a half. I think it's one of those things where it definitely is a little bit slower, but as soon as you have an opportunity, you're going to take it. Schnitzel might have a great chance here, waiting for Baynock to make a play on it. He's going to hit it off to the side, get the full boost pad. Schnitzel's going to get the one near midfield. Baynock wants to carry this one around the corner. He's going to lose it, though. Has to get back in front of the net. Schnitzel with a great opportunity. Tries to play it around him. He cannot. Takes the boost pad, loses the ball as well. Now he's got to retreat all the way across the map. And slowest portion of the game we've seen so far, but now Baynock in a world of trouble. And
oh no, that's an open
he
goal.
can drive through the goal though. Yeah, you can drive through the goal. The goal's open.
Okay, there.
So you can, there's some recoverability. Nice play.
Go in circles, just consistently go in circles. I guess is the play here, because that's exactly what we saw Baynock do. Wasn't even trying to turn around. However, that's an open goal scoring opportunity. Just barely going to miss it for Schnitzel. Baynock chilling out. No boost right now, over by their own goal. Going to pick up that mega boost. Schnitzel's kind of toying with this ball right now in mid. Baynock's going to sweep it away from them. Are we going to see them coming around from their own goal? Or are they going to come back and try to sweep this ball in the midfield? And it looks like Schnitzel's going to maintain control.
Oh, well, production has just informed me what is actually happening here. It is not Cosmo Buster's new name. Schnitzel is somehow a random player who took the spot in the lobby. So, Schnitzel playing for player of the game. If he wins, we're giving it to Schnitzel.
It's some random person.
Yeah, apparently it's just some random person who we do not know, who apparently just stream sniped the lobby and, is making Baynock work for it in the Fortnite bus. Production tells me Baynock will try and put Schnitzel away, but Schnitzel making his case for player of the game that he might not even know exists.
Dang! Okay, I really hope Schnitzel is on Twitch at least, or we can send a chat to them saying, yo, hop onto the Boise State stream. You're low-key minorly famous right now because you are stream sniping us, and this is just golden opportunity right here to be a troll, and I love it.
I really am a big fan. As much as I'd love to root for Baynock, if Schnitzel won player of the game, that would be absolutely incredible.
Some absolute random human being that met us through seeing the lobby. I thought they were closed in private, but I guess not.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't messed around much with Rocket League private lobbies, as it looks like Baynock should be able to drive this one home pretty secured here. But I know in League of Legends, I try to make a lobby with my friends, just random people join. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you just trolling the custom lobbies, like clicking on random games? It is all very weird to me, but...
Yeah, it's like the title of the game is like, it's Nerdy Birds 1v1 and some rando just joins and I'm like, why are you here?
I make the title just like absolute nonsense, and then they'll be like, that seems like something I really, really want to join. So Schnitzel apparently is that person. Had an opportunity. Baynock over pursued, but he's going to pump Schnitzel out of the way. Schnitzel not able to recover. His player of the game chance is starting to go up in smoke here in the final minute and 10 seconds.
Come on, Schnitzel. Let's go, Schnitzel. You have a goal scoring opportunity. But Baynock's going to swoop in and take it up the wall right now with 50% boost, kind of just trying to manage it and making sure they're not using too much, hitting those boost pads through the middle. Overcommitting a little bit, but is able to get the follow-up off that ramp on the wall. That was clean, Baynock.
I'm still just honestly impressed that Schnitzel somehow managed to sneak into the lobby.
I honestly am loving it. Schnitzel, thank you for shaking up this evening even more than it already was shaken up.
I do think this probably, we'll have to see if we try and redo it or if we save the Cosmoster and Baynock 1v1 for another evening, as Schnitzel's going to get his third goal, and he's still got a chance here, albeit very small in the last minute.
50 seconds, we saw almost 4 goals in that amount of time at the start. Definitely an opportunity for Schnitzel to get 2 and tie it up and send us into a golden goal situation. But Baynock may just be like, nah, fam, I'm just going to roll with it and go completely ham right now and score 3 goals for themselves. We'll have to wait and see, but we do see Baynock right now showing off some beautiful ball control and just literally shooting the ball right past Schnitzel.
I think Schnitzel would have been better placed here going through the goal. You lose a lot of time and you put yourself in a very awful position. I think if Schnitzel had gone for the full wraparound, he actually might have been able to save that. But Baynock trying to squash any hopes of a comeback here. You can score relatively quickly on this map, though.
Yeah, and Schnitzel is looking like they have a great goal-scoring opportunity unless Baynock is able to get control of this ball, which they are able to do, knocking it down. But Schnitzel gets a nice little aerial flip and is able to score again, closing that gap between them and Baynock even more. So now 30 seconds, 2 goals left in order for Schnitzel to send us into overtime. I have some faith that Schnitzel might be able to give Baynock a run for his money.
Well, it looks like if we believe SpongeBob, who just typed in the Rocket League chat, this was, I'm not going to say an inside job, but he is not just some random. According to SpongeBob, Schnitzel is on the Washington State C team for the Cougars. So definitely someone who, could warrant giving Baynock a run for his money, not just some random player. So that would explain how he knew the lobby existed.
That was sneaky.
Maybe that he was watching the stream and knew, but he's got a chance here.
Baynock actually faked them out on that kickoff, though, and decided to go for the boost rather than going straight for the ball, and I do not think Schnitzel was ready for that one.
It doesn't look like production will be resetting the matchup, so we'll save the Cosmo and Baynock 1v1 for another time. Baynock got to defend his player of the game titles here. 10 seconds left, and Schnitzel forces to overtime. Will Baynock be the player of the game? Remains to be seen. 3 seconds left. Schnitzel, you got to do something crazy. That was not it, Schnitzel. And Baynock is going to be the winner. He is the player of the game. And Boise State, even what we thought was going to be a Bronco-on-Bronco matchup, again proves victorious against the Cougars.
Not gonna lie, Cougars, that was sneaky and so gosh darn well calculated to sneak Schnitzel into there. Nicely done. That was honestly so funny to see.
Him getting player of the game would have been honestly hilarious. But you know what? I think it's going to be Baynock since he was fighting for player of the game. What was supposed to be Cosmobuster, we'll see. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with our player of the game, or our player of the match, we should say, and the top 5 players. So don't go anywhere. We've got the awards to hand out after the short break.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Boise State Game Pants Esports Arenas. We wrap up tonight's events. We had Boise State and Washington State playing in 8 different games all the way till the very end. Boise State took down Washington State 3-1 in our best-of-5 series. The teams played another game of normal, which Washington State won. Then we had our 3 random games, which all went the way of Boise State. The Broncos picking up wins in Rumble, Drop Shot, and then what we thought was a 1v1 between Cosmo and Baynock, hijacked by Schnitzel, a player from Washington State, who came close but did not pull off the upset victory. And what should have been a battle for player of the game means if Baynock won, he has to be the player of the game, right? It's that simple.
I would assume so, honestly, but our little, Baynock versus Cosmo moment's going to happen eventually at some point, because I do feel like it was a little unfair for Cosmo in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have seen it. I've got to just go back to the stats that I have in our 5 normal games. Baynock outscored Cosmo Buster by 1, 8-7. So that means, in my opinion, Baynock is our Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. We'll have to see if that is the case.
Or if it's Schnitzel.
Well, I mean, honestly, if Schnitzel had won, I would have given it to Schnitzel.
I would have too, because that would have been well-deserved. Honestly, the best, trolley moment ever. And also to win against Baynock, icing on the top of the cake. And it looks like we were right. The player of the game is Baynock. Good job, Baynock.
Hey, he had defended his title against Schnitzel. He also put in the most goals for Boise State in the normal portion of the night's broadcast. Very well deserved. I mean, you could have given it to either him or Cosmo Buster. They scored the most goals. I thought Toxic played really solid as well. But when you play with these two guys, there's just not a lot of goal-scoring opportunities, I'll be honest, because they get a ton of them. So big shout-out to Baynock, earning our Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game for tonight's matches against Washington State. Or player of the match, I guess we should say.
Yeah, player of the match. But Cosmo, you did great as well, as did you, Toxic. And Schnitzel, you did a fabulous job shaking things up.
Exactly. Big shout-out to Base Sayer, SpongeBob, and Worley as well, hanging in there with Boise State for a majority of the matches. Every single match except for one, decided by just 1 goal. In Game 4, Boise State really just turned things on in his 7-goal blitzing, as you can see the score down there. So huge shout out to Baynock. He's your Idaho Central Credit Union player of the match. And take a look at just some of these really awesome goals that just make your jaw drop, honestly, that Baynock's able to pull these off time and time again.
I do agree, but I mean, this is Rocket League. It always just makes your jaw drop.
Yeah, the things that the top-end players could do is just absolutely insane. They could, probably play keyboard and mouse while driving backwards and beat, I would think, the two of us combined, Nerdy.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and say I have any skill in Rocket League, because I don't. I may love the game, but I'm horrible at it.
It's a great. The problem is, they make it look so easy, and you're like, I can do that, and then you go home and you're like, I cannot do that.
No, this game, there are very few games that give me a little bit of vertigo, and this is one of them.
Yeah, and it's just, when you try and, when you first start out, you have the ball cam, so the ball's up in the air, and you're like, I can't even see my car anymore. It's just all absolutely insane. So big shout out to Bainok. Big shout out to everybody who joined us, not only Washington State, but everyone in chat, making this Rocket League Wednesday a ton of fun. Big shout out to you, Nerdy Bird, as well, for having some fun commentating all these games. At least you can go home happy. You got drop shot. I never got hoops, so I'll be just a tad bit sad. But that's going to wrap up everything for us tonight. It's time for the top 5 plays presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 job offerings with a $20K bonus and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out on Twitch at iGuard Gaming, and we'll leave you with these top plays.
Finishing up goals and getting saves. I'm interested to see what Toxic has to offer.
Yeah, I'll be really curious. I know that Wayton has mentioned this from time. The attack. Cosmos are going to clear it away. He's got Bainok waiting down in the corner. Worthy, the last man to beat. Nice pass over to Toxic. Can Bainok make a play off the waterfall? No. Going to hit it off the crossbar. Toxic wants to keep it alive. He's got Cosbuster in the corner. SpongeBob's going to win that one. Now Boise State might have overcommitted.
Oh, no. Oh.
Bainok makes a huge save. Won't get credit from the game, but I'll give it to him. Boise State maintains in control.
Right now it looks...
Chance for Boise State. Great clear from SpongeBob, though. Unfortunately, really is going to miss on that one. 9 seconds left. Do the Broncos have enough defense in them here, or a last-second goal? Looks like for now it's Toxic. One last chance. The shot!
Yeah!
And it goes in!
Nice job, Toxic!
Is there any time on the clock? 1.4 seconds for Washington State. Yeah, that was just incredible by Cosbuster off the kickoff. He'll win it fair and square. Can he give Boise State the insurance goal they need with a minute 25 left? No. Toxic now in the corner, losing possession. Worley's going to recenter it. Bainok can't make the save, but hey, Cosmo Buster comes flying on screen. The last.
kind of in the lead here. They've already taken out a good chunk of Boise State's flooring. There is a decent hole on the side of Wazoo, but the lineup for the amount of breakaway coming up for Wazoo is much higher, as we do see Bainok score into a single hexagon tile on the ground. That was a beautiful pass back.
Yeah, I really want to see how this works, because see, Cosmobuster hits it just
at the midfield for it though, and is already ready to send it back over. However, Worley is now going to be popping the ball up into the air and trying to corral it, but Bainok's going to be able to pick it up and bring it to mid.
Bainok plays it around one, plays it around two.
What?
You made fun of me for saying the man could 1v3. He basically did
That was beautiful, Bainok. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there.